Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. First guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning. check. Is this thing on?
Yeah, messing up the drop. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Come in, clearing the throat on the drop. Oh man. Check 1 2. Can you hear me? Check 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that in the morning was a little raspy.
A little raspy, a little raspy. It's all good. It's a raspy
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Good morning to you. It is Friday. It is August the 1st.
Yeah, man.
First of the month. You know what that means?
First of the month. Wake
Rent.
up, wake up.
That means rent. Grown folks. To grown folks, that means rent.
Adulting.
So, yeah, man. But hey, we're here, and we appreciate you guys joining in with us this morning on this Friday morning. There's a lot going on this weekend, and a lot has been going on this week.
Man, already.
Already, lots of stuff going on, and we'll definitely dive into it today. This year in 1981, MTV launched.
Man.
I remember this. I remember going over to a friend's house, seeing the first video. All of that kind of changed the whole zeitgeist right here when this
Really?
dropped. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a trip. I was probably about little man's age, so 8 or 9, somewhere. Yeah, 81. So I was 73. I was 8
Do
when this happened.
you remember the first music video or the first video you saw on there?
Yeah,
What was it?
Video Killed the Radio Star was the very first video
Hey.
they played. I forgot the name of the band. I'm sure Mark Matter or somebody in the chat can tell us.
Yeah. I remember that song. Thank you,
Yeah.
Shannon. What was it Vice City? Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Thank
Only reason why it was big, I think, is because it was an obvious choice for the first
you. Yeah.
first song for a music channel.
Yeah.
But man, ever since then, music we've been in that generation. Music generation, everything changed when music video channel started up. With music, with everything, with the
Mm.
changed the music industry, changed TV, changed the whole generation of folks.
Let me know, was that, before or after Video Music Box?
It was. Oh, that's a good question. I think it was happening all around the same time. So there's some local video shows going on. Video Music Box was only kind of designated to one area,
Okay,
New
okay.
York. But yeah, MTV was cable wide. So if you was in the middle of the country on the coasts, all of a sudden now you were seeing it all. So yeah, just wanted to give a little shout out to that. RG said, "Yep, I remember it too. Was in the living room watching with my older sister. Man, yeah,
Okay.
it was one of them moments. You know where you was at. You know what I mean? So yeah, there it is. This day in 1981, MTV launched, and here we are in a whole different era when it comes to the TV and it comes to
Man,
the video video scene. We have a lot to owe to them. So anyway, shout out to everybody who's joining us this morning. Pops is giving us a good Friday morning and mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. Leia Keister is coming in with the yippee yo yays. You want to go for this one, buddy?
happy Fry, yo, yay, yip, yo, yay, yip, yo, yay, yip.
Okay, that was a fairly easy one.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit.
Not bad, not bad. Appreciate y'all. Pops is talking about the jam. Good, my mama God is in the chat. Good morning, fam. Good morning to you, Mama God. Appreciate you.
Hey, my dukes.
Yep. RG says been a minute since I've been seen the Friday yippee skippy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. Keep the brain sharp.
Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning. Also, Marlon Harrison says good morning, First Guy family, and happy TGIF to everyone. Heather Williams gives us a good morning, everyone. And yeah, again, good morning. We really appreciate you guys coming in this morning. Definitely lots to talk about. We have our special guests coming in. I don't know if you did I put that video up in the beginning? I think I did. Vicki Quaites-Ferris is going to be joining us. She's Vice President of Community Development for the Empowerment Network. And come in and talk about some of the things that's going on this week and coming up this weekend too. We're kind of wrapping up Native Omaha Days. I think it's over on Sunday, isn't it?
Man, went by quick.
Went by
This
really
week,
quick.
this week flew by, actually.
Let us know if you went to any of the events. I saw some pictures out there, people going to the white party the other day, and
Yeah.
funny, somebody was telling me an origin story about the white parties and how it was a Diddy thing. Diddy kind of started the white parties or made them popular or something. Took them over from like it was like the white parties was everybody dressed in white, and that came from England, and then he took it over and made it huge, and now it's a part of our culture in a big way. I don't know how much truth there is to that,
Hmm.
but yeah, anybody knows anybody of the origins of the white parties? Love to know. And When I say white parties, I'm talking about when black people get together and all dress in all white and go
Gotta
not no
clarify, gotta clarify.
that's right, not white people party.
Mm.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes sense though. That makes sense. It's HBCU culture. Most people I see. I think the Qs through the white party, Brothers of the Omega Sci-Fi fraternity. Diddy is a party legend coming from the black HBCU culture. He went to Howard University, and that's kind of where he cut his teeth, where he got his name as a party promoter, party legend, throwing some
Interesting.
crazy parties at Howard University. So I don't know. I don't know how true that is, but might be something to it. That's interesting. It's interesting.
We'll get into it. We may have to, bring Brother Mason on and ask him about that. Yeah, but, yeah, appreciate you guys coming out. Let us know about any of the situations that you guys, went to this week, if you guys were out and about. Any good food you hit the vendors up for? What's going on?
Man,
Did you see some folks? Love to
man,
see. Yeah.
did make it out on the deuce last night, and yes, the aromas in the air.
Mm.
Somebody was whipping up some greens or something last night. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Saw the folks down there at Idle Vital as well, which we'll kind of be talking about throughout the show. Yeah, man, the deuce is coming alive. Feeling
that's
it.
what's up. That's what's up.
Feeling good.
I love it. There's going to be some more events happening. Of course, today we'll jump into a little bit of what's going on today, if I can find it. There's so many things happening. It's going down. Stroll down memory lane is happening today at 4 o'clock, 4 to 8. Today is August 1st. Yes, 24th Street from Burdett to Ohio. Get ready for a celebration like no other. Join us in the village at 24th and Lake for an evening full of food, fun, live music, tours, shopping, and community vibe. And pick up a free goodie bag and enjoy the trolley tour. The trolley's gonna be out there too. So that's what's up. Historic trolley tours, village vibes and beats, arts and culture. Lots to see today on the stroll down memory lane at 4 o'clock, starting at North 24th Street from Burdett to Ohio. So definitely check that out if you're out and about, and especially if you're out and about a little bit earlier. That'd be dope. Dreamland Park is going to be going off again. First Fridays. This is first Friday as well. So
Hey,
yeah,
I didn't
24th and
think of
Lake, 24th and Lizzie. Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. You'll be hearing some music while you're doing your tour around the area. Dreamland Park concert series. I see Ed Archibald's gonna be playing. Nate Bray, cousin Nate. That's what's up. Our style gonna be in the house. Our style gets down. That's what's up. And Black Swan Theory too. So yeah, they're bringing out the heavy hitters for the Dreamland Park edition. August Friday, today at 4 o'clock. So that's something that's going on today, and also another very important event that's happening today. Ribbon cutting celebration is happening for the North Omaha Visitor Center. We're going to get into this visitor center here a little bit in the show and
yeah.
talk about it. Yeah, but that's going down today at 3 o'clock. So this is kind of the time to get out in the afternoon, see what's going on. Be music and light refreshment. Shout out to Preston Love Jr., who's behind what's going on here with this North Omaha Visitor Center. And yeah, another one of these legendary situations where there's a ribbon cutting. You want to be down there with your camera and say you was there because it's that time in history. So I think this is a really. I would love to have Brother Preston Love on and talk more about this. As a matter of fact, we talked about him coming on, and I think I forgot to call him back on that. So that's my bad. But we'll bring him on and talk about what's going on here because for us to have a visitor center is a
Man.
really pivotal thing for the block. Right at a point in time when the Deuce is really kind of igniting with the movement going on at Union for Contemporary Art, the stuff that's going on at NOMA, which we'll talk about today too. Shout out to Chris Baby, shout out to Flatwater Free Press for putting an article out about NOMA. Yeah, the block is hot, and to have a visitor center to go to and get some direction on what to do, get some history, get some history about the area and so on. It's kind of huge. Omaha has a visitor center too, and that's what kind of brings the tourism into Omaha. So
Hmm.
this might bring the tourism into North Omaha
Man.
with us having our own. So we'll definitely get into that and talk about that, and much more stuff happening this weekend. Of course, for us, the Chat Chambers Kickback is happening on Sunday, August 3rd. It's going down in conjunction with Untamed Summer. So we hope that you guys come down for that. Haven't really talked to anybody else about them bringing their signature dishes around. I talked to a couple people that said they might do that. So we'll lock that down and make sure that we get out there and hang out and have a good time at the Chat Chimers Kickback in conjunction with Untamed Summer. Pops on the grill, Papa God on the grill, I should say. Papa God on the grill. I can't even wait. Can't even wait. I've experienced Papa God on the grill, and I'm like, yeah,
Man.
gotta get
Yeah.
busy. 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock at Assembly of the Saints is going down. Don't forget about that. And then also one more announcement about our Content Creators Camp that's happening on Saturday, August 2nd. The time is moved on that. So
Yep.
those of you that are involved right now, the time is now noon, so that we can let you guys go get up in the morning and engage in the parade that's happening. The parade's
Yeah,
going
man.
down on 30th Street, the North Omaha, what is it, Native Omaha Parade that
There
happens.
you go.
Yeah. So be some time to go down there. I think the parade is like 10 to 12. So, yeah, you might be able to ditch out a little bit early from the parade, experience it, and then if you're a part of the content creators camp for this cohort, then come on down to 222 Benny Street on the Heart at the Heart Ministry Center at 12 o'clock now. So, yeah, that's the deal. So, yeah, with that, man, there's so much more that's happening, and we will be talking about it throughout the show. This show is kind of Friday, Love Supreme, talking about the arts, talking about thriving North Omaha, especially,
Yeah.
and right in the middle of what's going on here with Native Omaha Days, and we'll have some more discussion about that. Like I say, our special guest Vicki Quaites-Ferris is part of what's going on here with the Native Omaha Festival. We know we've been talking about this all week, so we'll have that opportunity to ask her some questions on that when she comes on as well. And yeah, that's what we'll be doing. So again, appreciate everybody coming through. Pops, Pops said his poster. That's your favorite poster. I love it. Michelle Moreno's asking, "What's everybody bringing Sunday?" Yeah, let's put it
Yeah.
out there.
Let us
Put it
know.
out
Let
there.
us
RG
know.
said, oh, I ain't even gonna lie. I'm gonna bring myself and my appetite. See,
It's gonna be a lot of those. A lot of those.
it's always the brothers. They ain't brought nothing. Be walking around with two plates. I'm brothers sometimes though. I'm brothers. How you doing today, buddy? I need to check in with you. What's going on with you?
Man, feeling good, feeling high off the weekend. Again, feeling the love, the energy that we've been talking about, and in North Omaha, especially driving up the Deuce, just seeing the activity, man, seeing the cars rolling through, seeing the folks, chilling on the side of the road, just kind of congregating, talking to each other, laughing, joking, remembering, taking strolls down memory lane, if you will. Yeah, man, it's feeling good, and not just 24th, like just seeing the city activate in a way that we don't often see.
Yeah.
When you're used to the Orpheum, and you'll see the Megan Trainers and the country shows, and things like that. But it was events for us at the Orpheum was pretty nice, man. A shout out to El Stupo and everybody involved with the comedy show that looked like that went off in a real way. Of course, there was a Starlito and Don Trip concert last night out on 108th at Rhythms Lounge. So it was activity all over the city, man. It was a lot of things going on, and I'm feeling good, man. Of course, you had mentioned the white show or the white party, also the homecoming kind of mixer that was at the
Mhm.
Elks Lounge. So yes, it's a lot going on, man. Already, I'm feeling good. Looking forward to this weekend, and looking forward to today's conversation. Actually, like there's some thoughts that are swirling in my mind beyond just what we've been talking about as far as the celebration of North Omaha, which this truly is a homecoming celebration of what it means to be a native North Omahan, or at least connected to Omaha through family. But also, what this means about the future of North Omaha, the Deuce, the development that we've been talking about. Something that's coming to mind, and we'll be talking about throughout the show, is the commodifying of North Omaha, which some of these moves mean to me. That's what I'm recognizing is like, okay, North Omaha could be and should be recognized as a viable economic hub, and again, beyond just the jobs that we can bring to the city, but how can we look at the talents and the things that already exist in North Omaha, and again commodify, benefit, and turn those into businesses and opportunities as well. So yeah, definitely that's what my mind is. I want to talk about that in a little more detail throughout the day. But yeah, I'm feeling good, man. How about you?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Definitely, like you said, high off the energy and the things that are going down around town. One of them situations where there's too many things to do, too many
Yeah.
things to go to. You can't even make a decision on all the stuff that's happening. So, but some people did. Marla Harrison in the chat said, "I went to the Q's all white party last night. He said my back and my knees is hurting right now. My neck and my back."
My neck and my back.
RG said, "Bro, all I know is the traffic was deep around 9:30 last night around the way, deeper than normal."
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm always tripping on that part of it, going down into the heart of what's going on during North Omaha Days means you're gonna be parking way down the street
Oh yeah,
somewhere
yeah.
and trekking up to where the action's at. But pretty cool. Still is what it is. I did talk to some people that were kind of complaining about that situation with the barriers going up and down 24th Street. They still feel like a big police presence, but I'm not hearing too many complaints like I did like a few years ago. Seems like there's it's going everything's going pretty smooth, no incidents and stuff like
Yeah.
that happening too. Marlon Harrison also said, I heard the comedy show was lit last night. Said, I know a lot of people that went last night before the all white party. Okay. Michelle Moreno said, I'm leaving work early Sunday so I can come home and cook. That's what's up. What you bringing
Okay.
on? What you bringing on Sunday? I'd love to hear
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Is it guacamole?
No, no, guacamole's already. I think who said they was bringing guacamole?
Sean McCarthy.
Yeah, that's what's up. Bring the chips, you bring the guac. Kimmer's in the chat. Good morning, y'all. Good morning to you. Appreciate you joining us this morning. Really appreciate you guys coming through. 7:16 right now, if you believe in the concept of time. And we definitely want to talk to you about some things that's on your mind. And again, this is kind of a lighter Friday because it is a Love Supreme Friday. We're right in the middle of Native Omaha Days. There's celebrations going on. And we
Celebration.
don't want to kill the vibe. We don't want to kill the vibe on that. We want to keep this celebratory spirit and definitely get together, live alive with one another, check out the art, check out the music, check out the food. So many things going on, and I'm really kind of down with it. So yeah, we'll be diving into some things and talking about some things today. Shout out to Flatwater Free Press that talked about Noma. You know, we do a lot of talking about Noma. I was one of those ones that was like, Mom call him Loves Jazz. I'm gonna call him Loves Jazz.
Hey.
Really appreciate coming in and changing up that way. But I'm learning to appreciate what's going on in Noma over time because they're proven to be doing some good stuff, as you can see right here. Teaching babies on the. I mean, come on, man. I'm a drummer, so
Yeah.
like the babies on the drums.
Come on, man. The next generation looking good.
Wait a minute. Why did I picture just noise the whole drum session, and they outsmarted me with that by putting them on electronic drums with headphones.
All right.
So he teaching like, first of all, focus because he can talk directly to them through the headphones. Second of all, they're not overwhelmed with noise when they're trying to do their thing. So like, yeah, this is this is a genius situation right here, man, to have a class full of babies drumming and not go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
What it
Oh
is.
yeah.
Shout out to Dana Murray, man, who's hands on with it. Hands on with it. Definitely check out the article in Flatwater Free Press about Noma. Something was really interesting. They quoted Preston Love, who was kind of who felt like I felt. There's a part in that article. He says early on, Noma grappled with operating in the shadow of the Love Center, whose closing spurred some anger and pushback in the community. I was angry
Yeah.
pushing back.
Yeah. Yeah. Felt some kind.
It says the junior Love said, brother Love. He says the city's involvement and Murray's relative lack of longtime North Omaha roots also fuels skepticism. He added. So I was like, okay, brother Love, put it down. He said what he said.
Man.
He said the thing out loud we was feeling. So I appreciate what he said, but he also came back and he was like, but he's doing good things. He's proven himself and so on and so forth, which is also what I'm feeling as well. So we often talk about the Deuce right now being activated. I feel like it's EGOT training corner right now, man. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. You had mentioned that. Get your music up. Get your acting up. Acting chops. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get your vocals right.
there
Oh
you
man.
go. Kimber said another South Omaha. Dana Murray. That's what he. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The article showed a little bit about his upbringing and some of the stuff that he did, and yeah, I would definitely highly encourage you to go to Flatwater Free Press, check out the article about Noma and a few other articles there that we'll be talking about today. Chris Baby Boy Bolin
There
is
you go.
bringing back the idea about explaining to us what TIF dollars mean again as well, and that kind of ties into what Buddy's talking about. So that's what's up. Marla Harris says, I won't be able to make it on Saturday. Oh, man, said grandparents are getting a street named after. Oh, that's right. Another street naming. Marla Harris's grandparents. Wow.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Okay.
Okay. We'll appreciate you, man. We'll be in touch and we'll figure out another time we can get you with the person that we, get you on the lesson as well. But we'll
Yeah.
work it out.
Yeah.
Anybody else go to the other street naming that happened yesterday? Brother John Ewing, Mary Ewing.
Yeah.
Put some respect on his name. Yeah. It must be something else to kind of get a street named for, why you're still alive in the place that you grew up, on the block you grew up. Now that's the name that's your name now. That's your street name.
Yeah. Smelling the flowers.
Smelling the flowers. I saw Precious McKesson and a few other people out there. Let us know if you made this as well. And gave Mayor Ewing his props for the commemorative street naming that happened yesterday at 1 o'clock at 22nd in Lothrop. That's what's
There
up.
you go. Yeah. It kind of added to the feeling like, man, it's feels like the city is opening up, to the community. Yeah, it felt good. Definitely congratulations to Mayor Ewing. Actually, we kind of talking, still reflecting on our conversation with the mayor. One of the things that he talked about a lot is intentional economic development in North Omaha. So yeah, 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 yeah.
That's what's up, man. We'll take a quick break and we'll come right back and we'll jump into the thread of today, buddy. Buddy always lays it out for us. We got some things to talk about, so we'll come back. And of course, if there's any other events and things like that that's happening this weekend that we're missing that you want us to big up, let us know. You can put it in the chat. You can always put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha as well for everybody to see. And today, do us a favor. If you're on Facebook, share the show. Let's get as many people in as we can, kind of coordinate, talk about what we're doing this weekend for Native Omaha Days. Also, if you're on YouTube, please give the link to somebody so they can come on YouTube and also like and subscribe while you're over there as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
yeah, man, stay tuned. We'll be right back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Hall B, Buddy the God.
Hey.
Be right back, y'all.
This summer, North Omaha comes alive. It's the Native Omaha Days Festival, a week-long celebration of culture, music, food, shopping, and powerful community reunions. Join locals, new residents, and visitors from around the globe for the ultimate homecoming experience. Get in on the fun. Find event details, vendor info, and more at nativeomahadays.org. Let's make memories together at Native Omaha Days, July 28th through August 4th.
Hello, I'm Tim Clark, Chairman of the Nebraska Commission on African American Affairs. Our mission is to improve the social, economic, and political status of Nebraska's African American community through legislation, advocacy, education, and engagement. We focus on key areas: health and wellness, tackling disparities like higher rates of chronic disease, promoting access to culturally competent care, economic empowerment, supporting entrepreneurship, financial literacy, and equitable access to resources. Housing, addressing systemic discrimination, promoting fair housing opportunities. Education, fighting inequality through better funding, teacher training, and culturally relevant instruction. And finally, justice, challenging racial disparities in the justice system and supporting community-led efforts. To learn more, visit us at ncaa.nebraska.gov. We're committed to building a stronger and more equitable Nebraska together. Thank you.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I'll be Buddy the God, man. Shout out to Tim Clark for delivering that message through us. It was definitely in the news today, actually yesterday, about what was going on. And they're getting a little press. They're really starting to talk about what it is that they're trying to do over there at the Commission of African American Affairs. And yeah, so be looking out for that. And like I said, we'll be talking to them, bringing somebody on to talk about what it is that's happening, which is going to be pretty important. So stay tuned for that, and we'll talk more about that as we go. In the meantime, between time, Miss Erica Felt is in the chat. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate she says, good morning, popping in since I'm closed today for Black Power redevelopers to bring my electric board up to code. Man, shout out to Black Power. I love that company. Says, wishing everyone a safe and joyous Native Omaha Days. Make those great memories. Hopefully we'll see you on Sunday. Sis over there, man. Get busy with the Chat Chambers kickback. I want to see everybody if we can. Ariel's 402 is in the chat as well. I hope you'll be able to make it too, bro. He said, make the like button hot. Hit it.
Make it hot.
Appreciate that very much. 7:24 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we are anticipating our special guest coming in shortly, so do not forget and stick around for that. We're going to be talking to Vicki Quaites-Ferris, Vice President of Community Development at Omaha Empowerment Network, and we're going to be talking about what's going on with Omaha Days and Omaha Festival and the things that are coming up in the next few days as well. So we'll be talking about that. In the meantime, between time, I'm going to hand it over to Buddy. He's going to be talking about what today's thread is. What's happening, man?
Yeah. I've kind of mentioned it a few times throughout the day, and we've been talking about Native Omaha Days. We're in the thick of the thing, and been focused heavily on the celebration aspect of it, and reasonably so. I mean, that's what it's about. So again, a homecoming. Some even call it a festival, but feeling the celebratory spirit nonetheless going through, and yeah, that should be the focus. But there's a element that I want to kind of plant in the back of our minds as we're going through this, and hopefully are supporting each other. And because that's what it's about, not just celebrating each other, but also kind of realizing the opportunities as far as economics goes that can be sparked really from these Omaha Day festivities. And what really came to mind, or at least brought it to mind, was the ribbon cutting. Shout out again to Brother Preston Love Jr. and the ribbon cutting that will be happening today as he opens and launches the visitor center, and exactly what this visitor center means. You kind of touched on it earlier, Paul, not just the ability and the prospect of bringing tourists, bringing interested minds, having a place where people can kind of enter the community, get some tours, get some information, but also engage economically with the economy or with the community. Of course, there will be trinkets and T-shirts and different things made locally that can be sold in the shop. And other activities. Of course, there was a step up showcase, which shout out to everybody who went up to that, which we'll be talking about a little later on as well. But yeah, again, thinking of how to commodify North Omaha, how to look at it from an aspect of, okay, we have talents, we have opportunities, we have resources that we can look at to make money from. And again, that visitor center is definitely a indication of that for me. But before we get into that deeply, I want to start with some of the industry, some of the things, some of the news that we actually didn't get into last episode that kind of deals directly with that, as far as the economy of North Omaha, where the money is. We have been talking about that over several seasons, as far as how to make the space and place that we want to be in, and the place that we want to see. Definitely starts with economic development, and again, that also connects to our conversation with Mayor Ewing, and that's one of his biggest motives is economic development, creating opportunities for all of Omaha, and how to support that, and him having his street naming and being a part of the festivities as mayor of North Omaha during Omaha Days definitely kind of echoed that feeling. Like, man, okay, the community is here. The community is embracing Mayor Ewing, and looks like Mayor Ewing may be embracing the community as well. And actually, Paul, you kind of sent me a video, post. Speaking of that, just a side note, just remember, you sent me a post about some of the moves lately from Mayor Ewing teaming up with Sherman Wells and some of the other individuals in the community, already putting his quote unquote money where his mouth is with Sister Raquel Henderson.
Yeah, I wish I would have pulled that photo. It was a photo
Yeah,
of
yeah, just remember.
Sherman Wells over at the mayor's office with Raquel Henderson, and they talked about the boost to the roots, what they're going to do about gun violence and that type of thing. And we always juxtapose that against like what's going on at 360 meetings. The community is supposed to be talking to the police and having a relationship where they can kind of do what they need to do for the community and lower the rates of gun violence, which we believe that they are. They're showing data where the gun violence is being able to be decreased some because of their efforts. But we always said, hey, but what about the organizations that are out here working directly with the kids, like the BAA, Untamed, and so on and so forth? Well, it was really encouraging to see Raquel Henderson, Sister Raquel, and also Sherman Wells, at the mayor's office, standing there with the mayor, talking about doing just that. So increasing the efforts, and the mayor, of course, we all know John Ewing has been a huge part of Empowerment Network situation over there with the 360 as well. Some of the first things that he was talking about was the pride in putting that 360 program together, how they've made Omaha a lot safer because of it, and how other markets and other cities are looking at how they're doing that and developing their own 360 programs in other cities because of it. So we've been a model city for that. And so now, and then taking it a step further with jumping in with the likes of Sherman Wells and Untamed to do even more, just was highly encouraging to me just to see that photo. We haven't talked to them about exactly what they're doing yet, but just the headline on that photo was highly encouraging. So I forgot where you were going with that. I was kind of just wrapped up in thinking about that photo of them together, and how much that encouraged me that there might be some things happening.
And that's exactly where I was going. The encouragement, the excitement of just opportunities, and um, we talked about this in the past, but again, economic development and what that really means for change and creating the space and place in the community. Of course, you talked about with Sherman Wells and gang prevention and some of the things that they're doing. But one of the biggest things that he's doing in gang prevention is offering resources, because again, affecting the family's bottom line and how to eat and just how to maintain. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. And that's impacted again by the economy and how we make money and how we move and what industries we get to work in. And I will start by one of the biggest industries that specifically in the Black community, I've talked about this in the past. The two industries that have really supported families in Omaha is historically the packing industry, which is kind of declining, but now might be on the incline. The rail industry. Again,
Mhm.
I know a lot of people, especially in the Black community, who are middle class families, middle class workers on the, on the up and up, if you will, that work in the railroad industry. And now this news coming from again Union Pacific and was the Northern Norfolk Southern Railroad, excuse me.
Mhm.
Again, they just had a huge merger to the point of over $8 billion, or excuse me, $85 billion. And the result, the company statement said, is the creation of combined enterprise of over $250 billion. Some of the big news, of course, is that the company Union Pacific will kind of be taking the lead, in the headquarters, which is in Omaha, will remain at the center of the efforts, which could possibly mean more jobs. Again, there's some other conversation about that, Paul. You had some interesting comments when we were talking about it before the show last episode, as far as some reactions, some of the things that you heard about the work environment of Union Pacific, which I myself have experienced. Uh,
Oh, you asked me something to remember something that happened 2 days ago? That's a let me think about it. That's a tough.
is that is that is not ringing a bell?
Kinda, sorta, yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting here thinking about Aerials 402 and some other folks that I know have been associated with Union Pacific. And yeah, that's right. We talked about the fact that there's been like work environment situations, some racism and some all kinds of stuff that people kind of complain about. Some people do. There's a whole lot more people outside of that work for UP that, of course, I haven't talked to, but the few friends of mine that I've had talked to said that there's some issues there, and I remember us reporting on some things that's gone down there too. They were trying to improve working conditions, those really long hours, and the things that they were complaining about. So yeah, there's some work that needs to be done there, but we often forget to talk about like how big of an industry the rail industry is in Omaha. Like you said, it used to be kind of packing houses, but UP's been huge ever since I got in town. I've been hearing about UP is a major player. So this right now, and Anthony Rogers Wright said monopolization. It's a good question. It is the first transcontinental coast to coast rail system, which I think is really interesting too, because I've been seeing some stuff on TV where they talked about the Gilded Age, and the whole time frame back in the day when the railroads were being built, and how there was going they were basically going to war to try to figure out how they could take over those territories and get that railroad coast to coast, and never really did all the way until now. So so this is now the first transcontinental coast to coast rail system, because they've teamed up, and it does kind of feel like monopolization a little bit, but it also feels like progress to me a little bit as well. Finally getting coast to coast with the rail system. Saw some graphics the other day with different rail systems in different places, and the spider web of rail systems that's in Europe pale is our system pales in comparison when I'm looking at other maps of other places with train systems. It's really kind of limited, more limited than I would have thought. So I think this is a really interesting piece here. And then the main thing that the article really talked about with them is that the headquarters would stay here. It would continue with the name Union Pacific, and that there's going to be tons of more jobs available now because of this merger. So you know what I mean? Like it's just like everything else. There's some bad things about it, some good things about it. I wonder how it's going to, and I really wonder how it's going to affect us. Is this the next industry that people are going to, the next pool of jobs that a lot of young people are going to come in and stay in? Are the conditions right for those jobs, or is the culture a little bit better together here for people, especially in North Omaha, to be engaging in? We don't want to put people in situations where they're in bad work environments, like the meat packing industry used to kind of be in some
Man,
ways too.
Man, I mean, even still, shout out to Baby Boy Bowling, kind of giving us a tip on how the environments in the meatpacking plants, especially with those dealing with immigration and DACA and ICE and that whole situation. Again, the blood. So yeah. Shout out to Baby Boy Bowling, great writer, great writer. But you kind of laid out and followed my thoughts. I appreciate how you wrapped that up. Those questions are there as far as, is this the next industry? We talk about jobs coming to North Omaha, the likes of Tony Johnson and Von Chapman always reminding us when we talk about development, none of that is going to happen unless people have jobs to pay for it. Like, who's going to support these businesses, these small businesses? What industries are we looking at? And while yes, Union Pacific, even pops in the chat, your pops, he says, I think my grandfather and a few of my great grand uncles worked for UP. My grandfather definitely worked for UP. That's kind of what shaped my whole theory of those being the, these big industries as far as railroads and meat packing.
Right.
But there are still those traps, if you will, as far as the cultures of working in these places. And it is interesting. I'm glad you brought up the whole monopolization question, Anthony Rogers, right? Because I'm presenting this and to get into a larger conversation of industry and where the future of our money is going to come from. Because yes, those kind of opportunities exist as far as Union Pacific and railroad jobs and things like that. But we know the culture, work environment, and also I'm looking at what industries are being supported, and on the flip side, what industries are being undermined. Looking at media and what's going on with Nebraska public media
Bro.
specifically, man, it's very interesting. It's very interesting how the job market is moving and where the money is going and where the money might come from. And again, it does feel like more of the cog in the wheel worker jobs are getting supported, and the thinking jobs, the critical thinking jobs, the you know what I mean? Those jobs are either being replaced by AI or just completely undermined,
Right.
which is very interesting. So let's go ahead and get into, to juxtapose one, you have this $85 billion merger. Like you said, they've been trying to create a transcontinental um, railroad system since the beginning.
Right.
And I do think monopolization is part of the reason why that hasn't happened. Like, imagine the power that one company has by being able to ship from coast to coast. At the same time, you have companies like NPR and PBS getting chopped at the knees.
Man. Big time, bro. Big time. Also, I just wanted to give a shout out. We give a little moment to Ariel's 402 because we all know that that's a Chad Chimer that's been involved with UP. He was saying for the railroad to control all the economy, the pay is very insignificant. The culture that built the railroad still has an aftertaste currently.
Mm.
Yeah, this is one person I was thinking about. I want to call him out there because I was just thinking about where you stand with it now. But he's giving us some feedback here. The railroad used to be a prestigious job. With today's trade pay being competitive, the railroad is struggling to keep and hire new employees. I left home for work for 10 years to be able to hold a local position and had to hit the road again to make my pay a little better, sacrificing. So this is a person that's been involved, been hired. Exactly one of the people that I was thinking about when I thought
Yep.
like whether the conditions are there, and some of those things. And it's really interesting that we're in the era that we're in right now with the Trump administration, the current administration. It makes a lot of sense that this merger was able to happen during this administration. This is the kind of stuff that I felt like was going to be happening.
Man,
Uh,
this
monopolization and right, and for with a company that has that is not very uh, not really a great company to work for. To be honest, from my understanding, like doesn't have a culture of nurturing their workers, and now they're even more huge than before.
I'll put it like this: Union Pacific was one of the first like high profile internship jobs that I ever had. I had a engineering internship at Union Pacific for a summer, and just that alone, not even being a full time employee, just an intern for a summer, working in that environment, the cubicle like that. That was the job that made me never want to work in a corporate kind of cubicle environment in my life. Like this is it. I'm good.
Change your whole trajectory working that internship.
Man, it really did. It really did. Like it really did, because that was going into my summer. That was my senior or junior year of high school, and before that, yeah, I was on trajectory to be an engineer in college, and I was like, yeah, we got to do something else.
For some
We
reason,
gotta
I'm,
do
I'm,
something else.
I'm thinking of you right here. Like that's you. This is the picture that comes to mind. Your head in your hands. I can picture you sitting in that cubicle going, "I'm just gonna be a rapper. I
Hey,
can't even
you
do
see who's
this."
standing next to me? Ariel's 402 know what that
There it
railroad
is.
life is like.
We could change the context of this picture. This is Kimmer holding up her job acceptance at UP right here. I got a job, and y'all are like, "Nah, don't do it. Don't do it." Yeah, that's funny. Man, yeah, I definitely, I'm kind of laughing about it, but I also have one friend that I feel like I don't want to really call her out, but I feel like she's uh, had some. There's some. She was I think she was a dispatcher, and the conditions were so bad that I feel like it added to like some health issues of hers. She had to get out of it too. So yeah, I ain't hear nothing but bad news when it comes to working for UP. And now if they, and so when we talk about that, like the good thing about the fact that there's going to be a lot of jobs that come, yeah. But what are we subjecting people to with with these jobs? Yeah, that's also the next question for me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Yeah.
Willie Hamilton in the chat. Appreciate you coming through. Yeah,
That's the thought. That's the thought. Again, just on a kind of big picture thought, like what industries are being supported, what industries are being undermined. Again, it is very very interesting, and I didn't even think about this setting up this conversation, but in the moment, it's worth pointing out that they were pretty close to shutting down. This industry. I mean, they're striking not just even a year ago.
yeah.
Yeah, right. So yeah, that's very interesting. And again, to juxtapose that to what's going on in the news media, the industry that we chose to work in, very interesting to see, companies like Nebraska Public Media having to call out, reach out to the folks for help. Again, we've been talking about NPR and PBS getting undermined, and NPR as on the national level, those companies they should survive. But what we haven't really talked about are the smaller stations and smaller platforms that NPR and PBS support, the local platforms that will definitely be struggling as a result of this. And again, Nebraska Public Media is no stranger or no exception to this. The public broadcasting has been forward funded since 1975. That's according to Stacy Decker, the general manager of Nebraska Public Media, who recently spoke with KETV7. Stacy went on to say that was actually put in place to allow for journalists to do their job and cover government and not be penalized. That's something that we hope to do as far as just, hold the quote unquote powers that be accountable. And at least for now, Nebraska Public Media will have to go without the $8 million in federal funds already appropriated to it over the next 2 years. The $4 million a year contract for about 16% of the organization's annual budget. This is new. They said we've never experienced a claw back like this. This is a much different political environment. And again, what does that mean for the news? Again, there is no slant, as Decker said. Public broadcasting is vital to communities across our state, especially in rural areas. The recent vote shifts them to the annual appropriations process for federal funding. He says this is a common sense change. Federal funding is just one of many revenue sources for public broadcasting. For instance, Nebraska provides generous state support for Nebraska Public Media, a ranking as one of the best in the nation. Saying I have been in touch with leadership with Nebraska Public Media. I will continue to dialogue with them throughout this process. But we do know that this is still a red state. So again, if you believe and understand the mission that not only us, but platforms like the Reader, like Public Nebraska Public Media, like Flatwater Free Press are pushing for, definitely call out, to your elected officials to make sure that Nebraska Public Media and other forms of public media are still funded at the state level because we see what's going on federally.
Yeah, and they putting that call out, but even still, we talk about NPR, PBS. I think Ariel's 402 in the chat is saying almost all I watch is public television. We all grew up on public television. I think about Sesame Street back in the day, and
Man,
all these, all
getting rainbow.
yeah. What's been huge for us coming up, and even nowadays, man, I listen to KIOS every day. If I get in the car, then I'm on KIOS, which is the local affiliate that gives us NPR. So the reason why we can listen to NPR in Omaha is because of KIOS. So and they're putting the call out too, and you should hear their messages. Man, they dramatic over there with it. They're like this. We're really threatened over the fact that we are not getting federal funding anymore. So like you, to your point, the smaller stations that are housing a lot of this public media are the ones that are really in trouble. So like I said last show, like I'm looking at getting rid of Paramount because I don't like that merger that just happened with them, and
Yeah.
putting that $10 a month to KIOS so we can keep that radio station alive and keep NPR news coming through it and all the other stuff there. And also don't forget, you kind of just breezed past the Reader, but we went through a whole situation where the Reader shut down after John Houston, rest in peace, passed away, and the Nebraska Public Media was the one that picked up the Reader. The Reader's still going, they're still tapping into a lot of the people that were contributing to the Reader. It's Reader.com is still up. So and it's because of Nebraska Public Media holding on to it as well. So they thought that it was important enough publication to keep around, and they put their money where their mouth is and picked it up. So there's a lot going on here that you may not think that you're directly affected by when it comes to these media, this media out here, Nebraska Public Media, especially KIOS. But it really is. It's really part of everything that goes on here. They're part of that ecosystem as well. KIOS News, I listen to every morning before the show. Matter of fact, to just make sure that when they talk about KIOS local news, seeing what it is that they think is news too. A lot of it lines up with what we're doing. So that is it. That's what's going on. Tony Johnson in the chat is saying, you guys work in industry. How much would it take to revive North Omaha visual media? Not really sure what you mean by visual media, but we're definitely a part of what we're part of trying to build out some stuff and get some other entities together, like Sherman Wells' page and Dr. Cheryl Weston's page. There's a lot of stuff going on right now that alternative media that we're trying to be a part of is we're trying to build it and invent it as we go. So got to do that. He says, how do we get more shows on Channel 22, local radio and online shows to North Omaha and Black Nebraska perspectives? Good question. Shout out to Will King, Bill King, the Media King. We talk about his radio station 95.7 The Boss, and how powerful that really is, that there is a actual station that you can tune into from your car to listen to as well. In most parts of Omaha these days, that's part of the ecosystem. I'm not really sure about Channel 22. RG in the chat is saying Channel 22 may be a thing of the past, as many people have made the move away from standard cable TV.
Yeah,
definitely part of it. I've never owned standard cable TV in Omaha since I've been here, so I'm not even really familiar with Channel 22. I know that we were doing some work with Margie over there with KPOW. Was that Channel 22? KPOW? Not sure.
Not sure.
Not even sure. Yeah. And there's still some, from what I understand, that studio still puts out some stuff that's supposed to be public TV as well. It's funded by Cox Cable and CenturyLink. So there's a law that makes them each have to contribute a little bit of money to public television so they can do the things that they're doing. I think that's what KPOW Studios produces is from that money. And I do believe that's Channel 22. I'm not really sure, but there are some programs out there. If we're talking about the same channel, that program is a program where if you are a news, whatever idea you have, you can come there to that studio and produce it as long as it goes out on the public media channel. We've done a few things from there as well. So those are some options. But again, how many people are watching Channel 22? Not sure. Marlon Harrison says another thing that a lot of people don't is that Nebraska PBS airs Nebraska high school football, volleyball, basketball, and softball games. News to me. Appreciate that bit of information there. Very interesting. Very interesting that the Nebraska PBS channel. So that's Nebraska Public Media. They're airing the games. Very interesting. Yeah. Appreciate your comments on these subjects here. What say you? I'm gonna put it out to the chat too. What say you about the industry, about what's going on with UP exploding? What are the new industries that you see coming to Omaha or thinking that should come to Omaha? We got the Inland Port Authority that's happening too, and I want to give a shout out to them for putting this meeting together. They're asking us to help shape the innovation district. Omaha Inland Port Authority Innovation District Plan is happening. This is coming up. We'll keep on talking about this before the date, but Thursday, August 7th is when this is happening from 6 to 8. It's going to be at MCC Fort campus. When I think of MCC, I think of another entity that could be a powerhouse as far as economic development is concerned in our city because of the trades that they teach from out of the North Campus and so on. So, it's a big ecosystem here that, luckily we'll be getting into this in the next season, the follow the money season, to really dig deep into that as well. But definitely come to this if you want to be a part of what's happening here and you got some ideas on how to shape that innovation district. What say you? What are some of the industries that ought to be here?
Man, and I'm glad you teed that up because we get just a heads up. Got about 10 minutes left in the first hour. Man, flying by already. Yeah. But I'm glad you teed that up because that's kind of the answer to the problem for me. Again, the problem being what industries, as you asked, what industries do we go in? Like we have there's still meat packing, plants in Omaha. There's still UP. But again, what do those jobs mean for us culturally? Is it worth making $1 and then coming home and feeling beat up or feeling like you're othered in the workplace?
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's a big part of the reason why I chose the route that I chose in the industry that I chose, because I kind of own my own destiny, if you will,
right.
as an entrepreneur, and that what that innovative district means to me, and that's where I'm getting at, and rounding back around to the commodifying of North Omaha, the talents, entrepreneurship, supporting each other, and not really necessarily. I mean, yes, there's opportunity to get a leg up through industries like Union Pacific and the railroad industries and other traditional industries. But I get mostly excited when I think of things like what kind of sparked this, Miss Erica Phelps getting support and shopping with black powered developers,
Yeah.
redevelopers,
Like
and
power
even,
electricians.
you know what I'm saying? Or being on the deuce for Omaha Days and looking out the window and seeing Sentinel Force and you know what I'm saying, my brother James Henley walking the streets, not gang unit posted, but Sentinel Force doing their thing,
Yeah, yeah.
supporting entrepreneurship, supporting black business. That's where my mind is, and that's kind of the big thing, the point that I really want to hammer home with this Omaha Day. This the spirit that we're in already is, again, I've been saying it, we all we got, but that's enough. We don't necessarily need to, like, what does it look like when we rely on each other and
Mm.
circulate our dollar and support each other?
Well, I'll tell you what, one industry that's been in around, Heather Williams is reminding us, been around 10 years. North End Teleservices has
Man,
been around for 10 years now. They're a second chance company with great culture and environment. What I've been
beautiful.
hearing, man, I heard that they got buses to get their employees to work. They help with certain things. The pay's pretty good, and of course, the area around the Deuce, that's going to be huge when you think about what's going on there, because North End Teleservices is moving to 24th and Lake,
Yeah, man.
right across the street from Noma and all these places we're talking about. How are they going to be in affecting the environment over there, bringing all their workers there, more traffic there? The fact that that's happening is, it's like an industry moving into the on the block,
That's what
and
I'm saying.
there's already there's already Empowerment Network across the street, Noma across the street, Union for Contemporary Art across the street. Katie Rains Productions has got her office across the street. There's brothers who have offices inside that building that she's in that are doing development around, redoing Jesse's Place and a bunch of other places around. So there's other developers besides OEDC out there doing stuff. And now we got the Visitors Bureau coming for the block as well. So like, and then don't forget about Great Plains Black History Museum that's there already as well. So
All right.
you can
All
see
right.
it coming together in a big way. In a big way. Heather Williams says, I was impressed by the number of black men and women in management roles over there
Nice.
at North End Teleservice. We've been talking about having Miss Carmen Tapio on for a long time. We have to have
Yeah,
her on
man.
to talk about it. But yeah, that's what's up. Really appreciate that. Tony Johnson said these food showcases videos popping up everywhere are good promo for Omaha video creators. Definitely doing that, man. I'm talking to one of the cats right now that's really kind of blowing up with the going around testing out the food. He
Nice.
says not seeing a lot of black food spots in town, something to consider to help black businesses locally. That is something that I feel like is missing a little bit. We have, of course, we have the Fair Deal Cafe over there on the block, but I wish there was more food destination places on the block too. I think that would really enhance what's going on, and I don't doubt there will be. There's some development happening over there at the where the Carnation Ballroom is on the block as well. And when I think about North End Teleservices moving over there and all those workers, I know that there's going to be some food places to pop up take care of lunch for the workers over there too. So we'll see. We'll see. Heather Williams says they do have buses. I've been there for about a month. I love it. Okay, so we got
Okay,
somebody that
nice.
works there. That's what's up.
Nice, nice. Okay, speaking highly. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. Man,
Yeah.
I love that.
We're going to take a break here pretty soon. We'll be anticipating our special guest coming in. That is also somebody that's been doing a lot for Omaha for a really, really long time. Vicki Quaites-Ferris is going to be coming in. She's Vice President of Community Development Employment at the Empowerment Network. So definitely get ready and get your questions ready for her. She's really going to come in and kind of promote and talk about what's going on in the last few days here at Native Omaha Days and some of the things that's happening. But she's also here, like I said, as a representative from the Empowerment Network. They just put a post out saying Empowerment Network is excited to collaborate with the Native Omaha Days Organizing Committee. We've been talking about them. The Native Omaha Days Club. We've been talking about them. These are the two entities that we've been talking about all week. that people are chiming up about that are running the Native Omaha Days and Native Omaha Festival. They're also working with OEDC and dozens of community partners for Native Omaha Day. Come and celebrate with us. So I think these are, people are making some statements here about a lot of things that we've been talking about all week long when we kind of found out that there's a couple of different entities running these things. So far, I haven't heard too much about clashes with events from the two entities, Native Omaha Club and Native Omaha Days Club and Native Omaha Days Organizing Committee. I haven't heard about too many clashes. It seems like people are coming out to everything, which is kind of
Yeah.
what Precious McKession's message was the other day when she got on live saying, listen, we'll have this discussion later about all this stuff, but let's celebrate right now. Let's just hit it all. And I was a little worried about this. Sometimes I get a little worried thinking, man, there's only so many of us out here. We can't go to everything. But it seems like all the events are packed full of people and there's no clashes. So, as far as, one group, one audience being taken away from another thing. So even though I would like to see a little bit more collaboration on coordination as far as events and stuff is concerned, maybe, people joining forces on one instead of having two separate ones at the same time and all that seems to not really be an issue too much. I
Mhm.
haven't heard too many complaints about it, but you never know. But yeah, it's still going on. It's still going on. It's going to be going on through August 4th. So of course, the parade we know is coming up on Saturday. We always talk about the live music, the dance, the food, the shopping. There's a lot going on, cultural exhibits, of course, tours and things like that. We'll revisit a little bit in the second hour of the things that are going on for today and tomorrow. And speaking of collaboration, this is the reason why we chose to do our Chat Chambers kickback on August 3rd over at Assembly of the Saints. So we can do just that as well. Consolidate a couple of events, Untamed Summer and Chat Chambers kickback getting together. And so we're not competing as well. So people
Yeah,
don't
man.
have to make a choice on which one they want to go to. Just come to one and we'll all be there.
Just come on through.
Come on through. That's what's up. Hey, let's take a quick break and we'll come back and we'll jump back into a little bit more conversation. The second hour coming up of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God, all of you. Appreciate everybody's comments in the chat as well. We'll definitely get to some of these issues that you're talking about. But stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Touch nothing. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God.
Hey.
Shout out to Pops. Pops theme, man. Pops is my hero. I gotta tell you,
Man.
brother just launched a store,
Nice.
Silverstone in Tipton. He's getting his fine jewelry on in this store. If you're so inclined to check it out, I mean, literally, I'll be like, "What you working on, Pops?" "Oh, I'm writing a book and I'm doing some this and some that." And then out of the blue, it's like, "Oh, by the way, I opened up an online store." That's what's up. So speaking of entrepreneurship, speaking of being your own boss, I'm gonna go ahead and put that link in there. I definitely want you to check out what's going on with Silverstone and Tipton. It might be a really good situation for you to be able to go there and frequent Pop's store, buy you some stuff, buy you some gifts. Pops, you about to make some money coming up on Valentine's Day next year. So yeah, I can't wait to see what you got going on here, but definitely check it out. Man, another family, Allen family business up and running. Silverstone and Tipton.com. Shout out to Pops. The music you just heard was Pop's theme. So again, musician, writer, entrepreneur. Now you know where I get it from.
Too many hats.
All day. Too many hats. Welcome back. It's coming up on 8:00. If you believe in the concept of time, that is second hour is happening right now with First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
That's right. This hour we'll be talking to Vicki Quaites-Ferris. She's going to be coming in talking about the last few days of Native Omaha Days and some of the events and things that are happening. Namely, people have been asking me, "You coming to the ribbon cutting?" This is going to be a good one. This is today at 3 o'clock, 22005 North 24th Street, right there on the block. Shout out to Preston Love Jr. for putting this stuff together. This is commemorating the historic opening of North Omaha Visitor Center. This is going to be. I feel like this is going to be an important spot. It's going to be
Yeah,
an
man.
important spot for the Deuce for real.
It is. It is. Again, talking about, not just what it means for just the celebration of North Omaha, the recognition of Omaha, but what can it mean economically? Again, bringing tourists, bringing hopefully dollars to the community. Actually, side note, Mr. Allen the Third, you might want to get some tip that was a Silverstone and tipped in the visitor center. It'd be nice to see some,
Hey,
and you already got a book in the library. Keep it going. Keep it going.
there you
So
go.
yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's really ultimately what it's about. I am very excited. Big shout out to Brother Preston Love Jr. For that move, and again what that means for North Omaha, and just the growth and development of the Deuce. And I will say, actually, to continue that conversation as we tee up and get ready for our guests from the Empowerment Network, the future, talking about the future looking bright, because I will add, in yesterday to this feeling of entrepreneurship and economic development, and intentional economic development, commodifying the North Side. The Step Up Showcase, man. Big shout out to
Mhm.
all the young folk involved in the Step Up Showcase. Actually, one of our instructors of the Content Creator Camp. Shout out to brother Eric Dishman. He is actually a instructor for the Step Up program. So we kind of getting some of that Step Up magic for the Content Creators Camp as well. And that was one of the programs that definitely tipped us off to some of the power that is coming out of the Empowerment Network. And big shout out to those young folk, getting into different industries and kind of showcasing their skills. And again, several areas of work. And if you're not familiar with the Step Up program, again, it is a program empowered by the Empowerment Network that it puts over 500, 600 kids and different job experiences and internship programs and training programs to experience different industries, areas, and many industries. I mean, legal, media, you kind of name it. It is kind of mind-boggling to think how big the program is. But again, big shout out to those who went out to that. I heard they actually got some news coverage. Young folks showcasing what it is that they're doing. It seems like you teeing up something, Paul. What you got over there?
Yeah, well, first of all, I wanted to. I was just looking at the Step Up program that just happened. This happened yesterday, as a matter of fact,
Yep,
from
yep. That's
12
what
to
I'm
6.
talking about.
It's the showcase you were talking about. But yeah, there's definitely some things that I saw that Empowerment Network put some posts up in Friends of First Sky Omaha, or they put some posts up and we copied it over there. But this is some of the images they were showing of some of the young folks that were doing stuff. This Step Up program kids as well. And yeah, man, so many kids out there. Like I said, one of the highlights of last year for me was when we went to that Empowerment Network meeting, and happened upon that. We got rushed down. I remember getting rushed down across the street from the CHI Center into the
Mm-hmm.
Hilton, and not really realizing that I was going to walk in and see 500-600 kids in there, getting some knowledge and getting hooked up. There's a lot of kids on this system. I would love to have somebody on from Empowerment Network to talk a little bit more about the Step Up program at some point too, because it's, to me, like, it's a lot of hope when you're thinking about what these young kids can do. Again, all kids that are in our neighborhoods are not at risk kids.
Right.
There's some that are, and then there's some that are not really in that much trouble. Most are not in that much trouble, but still need something to do, because you can still go that route. You can still go one way or another sometimes. And that goes for anybody, any economic class, any level, everybody in town needs to have something for the kids to be able to do. We don't really have you know um like the mentor, what do they call them, the there's not a lot of industries anymore that you have a underling that you can.
Like apprenticeships.
Apprenticeships, that's the word I'm looking for. Thank you. Yes, not a lot of those. I mean, there's certain industries like electricians have apprentices, plumbers. Some of the trades do. But in this age of technology, where are the social media apprentices? Where are the coding? What I'm saying. Where are
Mm-hmm.
the prompters? Where are the people that are working in these new industries? How's that work? These new industries, you kind of just got to go get a job and learn it, or you can go to school. They have social media degrees now and stuff like that. But yeah, I would love to see situations where there was some apprenticeship going on a little bit more, and this is kind of close to it. Like step up to me is not just getting them a job, but it's helping them prepare for that job and so on and so forth. There's a lot to it, and I really want to dig into it at some point because I think it's doing a lot of good. So
Yeah,
it's
and it's
good
not
to,
just that, but it's also not just engaging the youth, but also engaging the business community, and making sure brain drain is a real thing, and it's one thing to train up our youth and prepare them for the next the next wave to keep the economics going in the community, but having opportunities for them. So that's why when we see things like Black Power redevelopers, I'm
electrician.
excited. Yeah. I'm excited about and actually it's funny because you talk about industries like AI and things like that. But to your point, the trades aren't going away. Actually, I just saw a post talking about AI and some of the top jobs that are supposed to be um, replaced by AI. And they're saying that those technical jobs, electricians, plumbers, things like that, those jobs are safe. It's the radio DJs and kind of more the tech-based jobs, that are in jeopardy. But there's actually a need, 500,000 or so plumbers needed over the next couple years. And as more development happens, more apartments, more things get built, more factories to house some of these data centers and things like that, they are going to need electricians. They are going to need um, plumbers. They are going to need kind of those trade workers. And maybe the young folk, next generation, can get in that way. Also, thinking of some of the money that is coming in North Omaha. Again, some of the auxiliary jobs. Some of these businesses going to need cleaning. Some of these businesses going to need, as Miss Erica Phelps said, electricians to get them up to par and up to code and things like that.
Mhm.
So again, opportunity, economic development, commodifying. Where are the opportunities coming up?
There you go. 807, if you believe in the concept of time. I'm seeing Vicky Young in the chat giving us a good morning.
Good
What's
morning.
going on, Miss Young? Are you are you part of the parade? Are you the one putting the parade on Saturday? Let me know. Also, in the chat where they talked about, also earlier, Gwen Easter gave us a hello too. I forgot to say hello to Gwen Easter. Appreciate Gwen Easter coming in. I think somebody in the chat was talking about her being able to tell her story about what was going on with the African American Affairs Commission. And yeah, of course, you always know we always give Miss Gwen Easter whatever platform she needs to say what she wants to say about all of it. She's definitely been a part of it too. So can't wait to talk to her about been going on there. But also, Tony Johnson in the chat is saying, talk to MCC. They got millions over last years for this. Been talking to MCC. I used to actually work for MCC at one point, so I stay in contact with people over there. And I can't help but see MCC as one of the positive situations especially in North Omaha, the North Campus, because they do have a lot. Now, I will say that we need to talk to trade unions about recruitment for sure. That's been one
Big
of the
time.
things that their outreach to North Omaha is being handled is it needs to be enhanced. I should say they have some efforts going on there, but it needs to be enhanced. The recruitment part of this and drawing people to these situations. But they got robotics over there, HVAC,
Yeah.
electricity, electrician training. They got a lot going on. They brought a lot of trades. They put those millions that they put into building buildings that they got a lot of the trades that they can teach now. Home building. They build a whole tiny home inside of their facility over there. So there's a lot going on for sure, and I think it's real interesting that they're part of this ecosystem. They need to be more tapped in. It is kind of up to us, man, to really kind of get our youth, you know, um, hooked up because it's pretty affordable to go to MCC. And not to mention, shout out to Tim Clark, to Johnny Rogers, everybody who's putting scholarships together for people to go there and get some of this trade. I mean, we really got all the trades, a lot of the trades, I should say, right in our backyard, even in the North Campus.
Yeah.
And of course, not too far away, of course, you can get your CDL license. They have the training for that. And there's always scholarships and things that go out for that as well. And they always say if you go get your CDL license, you'll get a job driving a truck right away. There's a shortage of truck drivers, so it's out here. But we also got to talk about the culture and whether or not that's the kind of stuff that kids want to do. So we definitely need to talk about it. Anthony Rogers right in the chat said everyone will need second jobs when these data centers raise our power bills. Yeah, I drove past I think it was the Amazon data center. I passed by one the other day.
Mm.
Just like, yep, they're here. They're definitely here. He's saying AI will be the death of us, man. Let's talk about it. Also, Tony Johnson said, "Ask OPS what they're doing to address this too." Yeah, we'll
Mm.
definitely do that. Vicki Young says, "Yep, she's the one putting on the parade." So again, if you're part of the Chad Timers, or I'm sorry, the content creators camp that we're having on August 2nd, we pushed the time back from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock so that we can enjoy the parade. So shout out to Vicki Young for putting the work in over there on that.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you. Marlon Harrison in the chat is saying, Paul, both organizations work together, but when you have one organization not giving back, it really makes a difference. So I really can't wait to hear your perspective, Marlon, on this issue, because we talk about it all the time. Earlier in the chat, Pops was asking if the two entities were working together, talking about a Native Omaha Days and a Native Omaha Festival. If they were working together, we did see some evidence of some of that happening. They have been on each other's flyers. There was I think a couple of the events they were doing in conjunction with each other. So and like I said, just recently they put out a post. Where did I put that? They put out a post saying the Empowerment Network is excited to collaborate with Native Omaha Days organizing committee and Native Omaha Days Club. So it sounds like the two entities are, but Marlon has some information on how they're doing things together. So maybe we'll get some clarity on that when we have our special guest on this morning. If you're just joining us, we're anticipating speaking to Vicki Quaites-Ferris, who's the Vice President of Community Development at the Empowerment Network. She's going to come on and talk about some of the last events that are happening in the next few days, and generally how things are going with Native Omaha Days week. And maybe we can ask her some questions on that, on the collaboration between the two groups, and get some word on that as well. So yeah, we'll continue to talk about it. Also, Heather Williams in the chat is saying MCC is getting it done. I know a young woman that graduated from the welding program. I forgot about that.
Man,
Welding,
nice.
yeah, welding.
Nice.
Tony Johnson said, I attended an MCC board meeting and they talked about low enrollment at Fort North Omaha South Campus seems opposite. South Campus is where they got a lot of other kinds of industries over there too. Automotive industry, I believe, is on the South Campus.
Mhm.
So some of the campuses really embody some things. I got my associate's degree through Metro for audio visual communication, and I had to go out to Elkhorn to do that. That's where the arts are and the video programs and so on and so forth are. So each campus houses different things, and they put a big investment in the culinary arts and some of the trades and stuff here in North Omaha. We know a lot of people that went to the culinary arts school as well.
Yep. Yep.
I was at Okra the other day tearing it up, thinking, man, this is a graduate of the
Yeah,
culinary arts class,
man,
man.
forget about that, man. Shout out to Okra. Okra gets down.
Out to Okra, for real.
Mm.
We got a Crystal Ryder in the chat. His name I haven't seen before. She says Omaha Data Science Academy has a scholarship that makes it free for those breaking into tech. Some
Nice.
things out there. Some things out there.
Nice. Also saw on that tip, RG in the chat. He says, shout out to David Pollock and Cole Black Tech. They provide free IT training in various fields, networking, cybersecurity, software development, AI, etc. On the old Nebraska School for Deaf campus. So I think
Yeah.
that's right off of like 42nd,
Mm-hmm.
kind of where Big Mama's used to be.
I miss Big Mama's over there.
Man, yeah, we was talking about that. Yeah. No, but apparently, a little more going on in soul food over there. So yeah, shout out to Cold Black Tech. That's what's up. Again, this is the type of stuff where we want to talk about. We want to be aware of. Again, this is where I'm thinking of and where my mind goes when I talk about commodifying North Omaha and what these North Omaha days is reminding me of. Not just again the celebrating of North Omaha, but the economic opportunities that are present in North Omaha and from the people of North Omaha, and not just relying on the traditional industries, but we can create our own opportunities.
There we go. While these opportunities are getting created, we do have to acknowledge their effects. Maggie Miller Jenkins in the chat is saying the data center in Lincoln started raising our electricity bill in July. Shout out to Maggie Miller Jenkins. Shout out to Anthony Rogers Wright, who's always keeping track of what's happening environmentally. And also what other cities are doing. Anthony Rogers Wright says Ohio just passed a bill that forces them to pay 85% of their energy uses up front. Boy, wish we had that around here. This is and that is to say nothing about the water that these things use. Talking about data centers and AI, saying more than entire cities. He says in many cases. So There's some things that we
Mm.
got to be watching out for. He says every AI query is the equivalent of 2 gallons of water.
Man,
Yeah, lots of
that's
stuff. I've been hearing some stuff about that. I've been hearing some people say some of the opposite. Say some of it was hype, and they were giving some data on exactly how much usage there is when it comes to AI queries and stuff like that. But I've been hearing a lot more people pull out some data that talks about how much energy and stuff this is using. I don't see it going backwards. I do not see it going backwards at all, but it is what
man.
it is. And there's some ways to fight, like Anthony Rogers Wright was bringing out. They're doing in Ohio, so that's what's up. Anthony Rogers Wright says, "Would First Sky be willing to speak to a local Arab comrade about the connection between Israel's genocide and policing in the U.S.? We need to keep speaking about the genocide. We know that you've connected us with many a high level guest, and we're definitely open to whoever you suggest we should talk to for sure. We appreciate the work that you've been doing with us so far. So,
Yeah,
most
and
definitely.
that's definitely connected to the Cop City conversation that we've been trying to have here on the show. Goes right along with spaces and places. You
Yeah,
know, again, they're still trying to build that training facility up in Fort Calhoun. So yeah,
there
yeah.
you go. 816. If you believe in the concept of time, we'll take a quick break. Shout out to Celeste Butlers that's in the chat saying one love, fam. Appreciate you.
Peace, peace,
Yeah,
peace.
yeah, get down to the Union, man, and see some of the art that's going on down there for
Hey,
sure, man. She be
man.
holding it down. She
Yeah.
be holding
Speaking of
it down.
commodifying, copper piece.
There you go. We'll take a quick break and we'll come right back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B, buddy to God.
Hey.
Yep.
This summer, North Omaha comes alive. It's the Native Omaha Days Festival, a week-long celebration of culture, music, food, shopping, and powerful community reunions. Join locals, new residents, and visitors from around the globe for the ultimate homecoming experience. Get in on the fun. Find event details, vendor info, and more at nativeomahadays.org. Let's make memories together at Native Omaha Days, July 28th through August 4th.
Welcome back. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy the Guy. We're talking to you, all the chat chimers, all the ghost listeners. Appreciate everybody that joined the show. If you miss any parts of the show, please go back and check it out in its entirety on YouTube. Like and subscribe when you're over there. Shout out to everybody that's watching us on Facebook as well. Facebook seems to be going off a lot. I'm always surprised how many people watch us from Facebook and go back and watch the Facebook clips as well. So all the shows that we do are up. Of course, if you're on Facebook, you're on Meta. The shows won't stay up forever. So
30 days.
you got a policy now that they get rid of shows that the older shows. So you have to go to YouTube and check out all the old episodes. That's kind of where we're organizing things anyway. And we have a series coming out here very shortly about the lanes of change. And so watch out for some of that. Of course, we talked last week about the fact that we had a very good conversation with Mary Ewing. So we have some footage from that conversation coming out as well, and many more things. And it's all going to be centered around our website and YouTube. So definitely be checking out our website, firstskyOmaha.com. And when you go there, hit the join button and become a recurring member of the channel as well, so we can keep this going. And also, you'll see links to our YouTube channel and some of the things that we're highlighting over there on the YouTube channel. So definitely do that. And before we jump back into the conversation, just want to give a shout out to some of the events that are going on today. Shout out to Richie Love, who from the son of the legendary Preston Love, that's coming back to play. This is going to be at Noma, and this is tonight, August 1st, 7 p.m. $25 cover. Come and check it out. And Omaha Jazz Legacy returns to Noma. So we talked about Love's Jazz. There's going to be some Love's Jazz going on tonight in Noma.
Hey.
Yeah, shout out to Richie Love. For those of you who don't know, we always talk about our friend Terrace Martin, and Terrace, who is legendary musician that's super hot right now. Richie Love was his mentor.
Man.
Got him into playing sax. One of the people that got him into playing sax. So that's what's up. He'll be joined by Jeannie Holiday, So definitely think about getting dressed up and coming out to this tonight at 7 o'clock. That's going down. But before that, other things are happening during the day. 4 to 8 p.m. A stroll down memory lane is happening.
Hey,
Man,
down
historic.
memory lane.
Hey, sing that again. I like that
Hey,
hook.
hey, 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 yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Is that a song? Or are you just making it up?
A little bit.
Oh man, I got a beat for you. Let's put something together. Historic trolley tours is happening. Also, village vibes and beats going on. He said, enjoy food, live entertainment. This is what I really want to get to: the art and culture and the live
Hey,
entertainment.
man.
Because the backdrop. When you think about how good the food is and how good the vibes are, how good the
Mm,
music be,
mm.
live music. I mean, this is all the backdrop to living alive with one another. If you're gonna live alive with one another, do it where there's some food and some music and some
Yeah,
good vibes, right?
good times. Good times.
Good times for real, for real. They're just speaking of music and good times. Look at these lineup here. The August edition of Native Omaha Days. Ed Archibald is gonna be playing one week. Nate Bray another week. R Style another week. Black Swan another week. Tell me it ain't gonna be going off on the Deuce. You guys do know where Dreamland Park is, right? Yes, right there on the Deuce with the statues of the three musicians. Like there's gonna be music every weekend. There's gonna be music all the time. For the rest of the summer. So shout out to First Fridays. This is in the Village at 24th and Lake. Every first Friday you'll see a different artist, high level artist. Ed Archibald been doing it for a long time. I played with him. Cousin Nate Bray. I played with him. Come on, man. Our Style. We've had Our Style was our first mind and soul band that we had
Man,
play a
man.
fundraiser.
Dang, I remember that at the slowdown.
Slow down, man. And
Yeah,
then, of
yeah,
course, Big
yeah.
Wade and the Black Swan Theory. Come on,
Come
bro.
on, man. Come on,
Come
man.
on, man.
Man.
It's going down. It's going
Yeah.
down.
Fun filled day.
So I love it, and I'm gonna keep on talking about it even as we get into serious topics today. We were trying to keep it a little bit lighter. It is a Friday. It is Native Omaha Week, and we do have a special guest coming in to talk about what's going on with Native Omaha Week. And we're anticipating speaking to Miss Vicki Quaites-Ferris here pretty soon. So stay tuned for that, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on for the remaining time. Definitely got to do it. Because this is it's a celebration, and
Celebration.
sometimes you got to do it.
And there's so much going on, man. Like, man.
Lots going on, and of course, don't forget one of the most important events that's happening today at 3 p.m. The ribbon cutting celebration commemorating the historic opening of the North Omaha's Visitor Center. This building is where Drips used to be, and Michelle Trostler's office and all that, right across from Fairdale and that whole area over there. So shout out to them with this. Can't wait to see what's happening with this visitors. I can't wait to go in and check it out and see how it matches up to other visitor centers and what we're gonna do. What's gonna show off? I
Man.
find out some things I don't know about what's happening in North Omaha from this visitor center right here.
Man, also you kind of reminded me. I finally made it into that convenience store right across the street at the Fairdale. The Fairdale spot. It's pretty nice, actually. It's not bad. Not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, check it out.
they changed the format of the store. They tried to make it a grocery store first, and it didn't really work too much. But as a convenience store, most definitely works.
Yeah, yeah. And it's still, a few items. You can go in there and get your onion, get a couple things, couple things.
Who going in there and getting an onion? Go down to the corner store and give me an onion. All I need is one onion, just one.
Hey, you never know. Whipping those some potatoes. You never know. Never know.
Oh man, that's hilarious. I love it.
Hey, but check it out. Support. That's the point.
Support. Also support our brother over there with Untamed, man.
Man,
Brother Sherman, well, Big Sherman. Yeah, he's doing this every Sunday. We're gonna join him this Sunday with also he'll be bringing on the senators as well. Senator Roundtree, Senator Spivey, Senator McKinney, and First Guy Omaha will all be there at Assembly of the Saints from 4 to 7. But shout out to him doing this all 20 weeks of summer every week. We had Brother Sherman Wells on last show. If you guys missed that, you need to go back and check it out so you can hear what he's doing, because I didn't realize that they got food and stuff going on over there, and a lot of the surrounding people are just kind of like, hey, can we come through? He said some homeless people be coming through. He said, so, you know what I'm saying? Like they got everybody coming through because they know there's some food and some being taken care of there a little bit. You know what I mean?
Some love.
Right. And so you can show some love too, but making sure you get, bring some waters over there for them. Bring what they say they want Kool-Aid coolers or
Yeah, the jammers, the Kool-Aid jammer juices.
I ain't got no little ones around here. I don't know what y'all drinking. Y'all having these babies drink. Hey, my nephew came over and he said, Uncle Funk, what he goes, what do you know what red dye number 5 is made out of? Like, no. He said what did he say? He said some he's some kind of bacteria, bro. Like something like I can't remember what it was.
Hey, he learning a little. I don't know what your sister's teaching him, but he learning a little something. That red dye number 5. Hey,
I don't know where he got it because he was telling both of us. She didn't know either. But it was like it was made out of some kind of like parasite. It's like some kind of dead parasites, he said. And we looked it up and he was right. And so we've been joking around every time he wants a Kool-Aid or something like that. You want to get some of that dead parasite juice? He had us cracking. And one time he wanted some candy so bad. He wanted some nerds. He's on them nerds, and he was like, and he wanted the red ones. I was like, well, that's that dead parasite juice on them nerds right there. And he just looked and was like, yeah, but I gotta have them. He was like conflicted. He was seriously conflicted.
Life. Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, man. But that's so funny that that's hilarious. Yeah, that's my dude. He's something else, man. He's something else. He'll let you know what's going on. Pops knows. I forgot how I got off onto that, but
thank you for sharing that moment.
Yeah. You know what it is. But yeah, man. I just think that there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities around town. We were talking about bringing waters and Kool-Aid and stuff over to the thing. Yeah. Bring some waters over there.
There you go. That's the point.
Water always works. So we don't need the parasite
red juice.
Yeah. But he is asking for other kinds. I mean, I'm sure there's some healthier kinds of drinks and stuff out there for the kids besides water. But support them by dropping off some waters. You can drop them off anytime over there at Assembly of the Saints because he's got several more weeks to go. Like I said, 20 weeks of summer they've been doing this. Shout out to him and for putting this together, making good use of the funds that come through for us to be able to put them back into the community that way. Sherman Wells is the dude for that, for real.
I mean, it really can't be understated. Like we're doing this Chat Charmer kickback once, and knowing what goes into planning it and making it happen. This man is doing it 20 times every week. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. So big shout out to Big Sherm for putting in the work, and giving the community some love, man. So come through, check it out, and even if you can't make it this Sunday, 10 more summers, 10 more weeks left of the 20 weeks of summer. So. Big shout out to Untamed AOS. Yeah, getting down.
Yeah, man, we gotta have Pastor Ballard on too, man. I really want to have him on the show. Talk about it because those of you that don't know everything that they do too, man, you got to really see it. My whole thing is it's a church, but it's not. It's they have church gatherings there, but it's so much more of a community center, and so needed in that particular neighborhood. So needed. I'm real proud that it's on 24th Street. Like, we talk about the Deuce a lot in that whole area around 24th and Lake, but up and down 24th Street is really coming together, coming alive in a lot of different ways.
It really is.
Yeah.
Kind of closer to King Science. I don't know what's going on with that Salvation Army Center next to the tower. There's some development there. Of course, the Native Omaha Club building, there's some development there. The old OOIC building, not sure what they're going to do with that space, but there's going to be eventually some development there. So yeah, man, top to bottom.
Bud Crawford shop is on the block.
Yeah.
We got some neighborhood gardens. Shout out to Clarice and them. They just copped another building that they're trying to put some stuff together with that. We just talked about that.
Yeah,
on the way up to Ames Street, man. There's a lot going on in that direction as well. And the Carnation Ballroom is getting ready to reinvigorate. So the block is hot, and it's not just the Deuce; it's all the way up to Ames and all the way down to Cummings. That stuff is going on. So that's what's up. Big time.
Here for it.
Yep. Let us know about anything that you know about, especially when it comes to that. I kind of want to really highlight activating 24th Street in a big way. We want our 24th Street to be just as thriving as South 24th Street.
Man.
Shout out to the work they're doing over there to make it even more thriving over there. When you go to South 24th, especially sometimes during the day, which I've gone all times during the day. That's where the tacos is at, bro. So
big man got to eat.
Yeah. You 3 meals a day. That means sometimes I'm there in the morning, afternoon, night, late night, even 4 meals. But there's some times during the day when the traffic is so bad that you just you know, if I'm gonna I'm gonna drive out there, I'm gonna take the cruiser because we just gonna be we gonna be in traffic, just kind of
Yeah.
cruising. And I just thought, man, like when was the last time? Native Omaha Days is really the only time that you kind of cruising down 24th that slow. But the more businesses and the more organizations that pop up around there, the destination spots and places to go listen to music and places to go eat and so on, the more thriving it'll be, and even more in a lot of ways too, man. Even culturally, like I shout out to Lakeisha Green for what she's doing over at Union for Contemporary Art for real, like really activating that space. You can go see a play at the Union. You can go see
Mhm.
several exhibits at the Union. You can go work at the Union. You can have meetings if you're in the community. You can use their space for your board meetings. Like the use of space is even available over there with them. So there's just so much. There's so much going on, and it's in a steady build now. Like I said before, I haven't been this excited about what's going on 24th Street in a really long time.
Yeah, yeah. Also thinking of retail opportunities. You got Styles of Evolution. You got LaFleur's. You got yeah.
Hey, let me put this out there. I'm glad you mentioned that. Let me put this out there real quick,
What you
y'all.
got?
Styles of Evolution. I went in there to go get me some Stacey Adams for one of the things that I was going to, and talk to Don over there. Cool dude, very cool dude. You guys know about Styles of Evolution over there. Don walked out in this kind of in this. He calls it a day suit, a walking suit. Excuse me, a walking suit. Calls it a walking suit, and I think it's really really interesting. And he's like, "You need to get you one of these walking suits." I said, "Well, Don, I know I'm getting old, but I don't know if I'm old enough for a walking suit yet." They used to call them leisure suits back in the day. But after we got to talking about it, he was showing me the stuff and showing me how excited he was. I was like, you know what? We should have a walking suit party. We should call everybody else and do like this old school, like everybody but go down and get a outfit from Don and have a walking suit party. Fellas, let me know what you think about that idea because I'm kind of every more I talk about it, the more I be wanting to do it. So let's talk about it. But before
Okay.
we get too far off into that, man, it's already 8:32 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, and we have our special guest waiting in the wings, so we're gonna go ahead and bring her in, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, Vicki Quaites-Ferris is in the chat. Good morning.
Good morning.
Uh-oh. We don't have your mic on quite yet.
How about that?
There you go. Now we
Loud
hear.
and clear.
Okay, and my apologies for kind of the dark backdrop. So
It's okay. We can
I
see
ain't coming through.
we can see you. You look. It's very mysterious looking back there. You kind of look like a private eye with the blinds in the back a little bit. She's in her private eye office.
that's the other part of my story here. But no. Thank you so much for having me on
Hey,
your
thank
show.
you
I
for coming
appreciate
on.
it.
Yeah, thanks for
I
joining
can't
us.
believe it's the first time in the 4 years we've been doing this we haven't had you on yet. So that was just hitting me right now.
I
Really
know.
appreciate you coming. Thank
We're
you.
making it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
First of all, how are you today? How's things going for you?
They're going pretty well, actually. I mean, this week we know it's going to be busy, crazy, all that good stuff. But, you just kind of gear up for it mentally, physically. And so far it's so good. I mean, it's been great. So today is another great day, new blessings, new mercy. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's
There you
what's up.
go. It's a positive attitude.
Do you have family that comes in town for Native Omaha Days?
Well, actually, my father is here from Alabama. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see him before he heads out next week.
Yeah.
And, as far as anybody else coming in, no, but I got family here in town.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We talked about that the other day. That Native Omaha Day sometimes is the time where you see family that's in town that you haven't seen in the last 2 years.
Right. But some people I do consider family, that I've seen. So it's people you've grown up with. They're just kind of like your brother, your sister, your neighbor down the street, those kind of people. So
Totally.
it's good to connect with folks.
Yeah, Native Omaha Day is like a family reunion, but it's like a community family reunion.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah.
So love it. We're excited. We're trying to keep it up. We you know us. I don't know if you've seen the show before, but we talk a lot about some of the issues and things going on. But we wanted to pick this Friday to be a little bit lighter with it, a little bit kind of just we're in celebration mode because of Native Omaha Days, and we want to make sure that we stay in that mode. A lot of good music, a lot of good food that's happening around town. Which is my life, my what I enjoy, and of course, like you said, to reconnect with friends, family, family in town, family coming from out of town, meeting new folks, even, walking up and down
Oh
the
yeah.
street, meeting new people,
Oh
making
yeah.
new connections. Beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious, actually. We've been talking a lot about, what it means to us and the importance of it. But as somebody who's working intimately with the planning of it and the behind the scenes, kind of what does Native Omaha Day mean to you? Like, what is?
To me, it means carrying on the legacy of Vera and Betty.
Yeah.
Mm,
Bottom line. I
okay.
mean, you got these two ladies that came together. They decided they wanted to host the Native Omaha Days in Omaha, and to really have that wherewithal to want to do that, and just the two of them. You don't see, when we celebrate them, you don't see a third person. It's just the two of them.
Mm,
And so for them to have that vision and maybe take even what they experienced when they went to another Native Omaha Days, but to say, you know what, we're going to do something here in Omaha. And even though it started out as something small, but look where it's at today.
right.
So for me, it's the legacy and carrying on that legacy, but it's not keeping it where it was.
Mm.
We got to grow, we got to elevate, we got to take it to another level. And I'm an event planner. I mean, that's what I do. And so, in addition to other things, but at the same time, I like to elevate. So I like people to kind of experience something new or feel like they're coming to maybe the same event, but there's something different that they're
Mm,
getting when they walk away. So that to me is what Native Omaha Days means to me. And growing up in Omaha, I'm from North Omaha. I've been to Native Omaha Days. I've been on the Deuce. I've been with my cousin in those cars. Everybody get that second look. But the homecoming dance and the gospel fest and all of those kinds of things is a memory that I have. And so to carry that on and to have it in the name of Vera and Betty is something that I don't take lightly. I really take it as something that is an honor to be able to do, but not do it alone, because there's a lot of people behind the scenes in order to pull this off. And I don't think people really understand that what you see and what you experience and being able to leave and say, you know what, I had a great time, as opposed to the narrative being something negative or things happening that doesn't drive people to come down to North Omaha. So for
Mm.
me, it is something that I just really want to just carry on that legacy. And hopefully there's others that will really have that same passion to do that.
beautiful.
For those of you that don't know, we were talking about the founders, Vera Johnson and Betty McDonald. They just had their street naming over at 24th and Laird the other day. Lots of people out there for that. Lots of good photos of the families, and it was right in front of the Native Omaha Club building as well. This is one of those events that I noticed right away, right as I was becoming aware that there might be two different entities here. Native Omaha Days Festival is on one side of the flyer, and Native Omaha's Club Inc. is on the other side of the flyer, and that made me realize that you guys were kind of working together with some of these events, especially that street naming, which I think was a really important event this time around. I'm surprised it hadn't gotten done earlier, the street naming and the commemoration of the founders. But I'm happy that I was around this year when it went down. So first of all, I want to, before we get into that talk, because we've had a lot of talk all week long, of course, about the two entities. But before we get there, I wanted to give you a chance to big up the things that you wanted to come on and talk about as far as the events, the events that are happening today, tomorrow, Sunday, when it gets wrapped up. What are the things that you wanted to really promote and make sure that everybody gets out to?
I would say even starting today, there's going to be what we call stroll down memory lane. And that is something that, and I'm going to take it back a little bit, back to 2009. That's when we had what's called a North Omaha Revitalization Plan. And if you didn't know, there really wasn't a master plan for North Omaha, which meant that anyone could really come in and develop anywhere they would like to. It may not have made sense, but if they wanted to put a business there, they could put a business there. If they wanted to put a grocery store there, they could do that. It was a little bit different because downtown, you got Midtown, you got West Omaha, they all had master plans. So if you wanted to do something there, you had to follow pretty much the plan that they had set forth. And so back in 2009, what we wanted to do, and when I say we, I worked for the Empowerment Network as VP of Community Development. So that's my other hat and other lane that I work in. But back then we said, you know what, North Omaha deserves to have a master plan, because we're looking at it in terms of development. We're looking at it in terms of the future. And so if anyone wants to come in and they want to bring a business in, we wanted to have a plan for them so that we could say, survey and work with them as to where's the best place to put your business. Where can you best thrive? Where, if you want to build houses, where's that place where you can build some density? Because of, again, a lot of businesses will not come into your community unless they have enough rooftops. And so that's where you have to build that density first. And then they're going to look at the number of people that's within that proximity and say, you know what, I think my business can be supported in that particular area. And so that North Omaha Revitalization Plan was just the beginning of putting and creating a master plan, working with Urban League, working with the city, working with the chamber, working with a lot of stakeholders that live or work in North Omaha, bringing all these people together, hiring 2 different consultants. One consultant would focus on what we call the Village East, which is the 75 North. Then you take it east of that, going towards Lake Street and so on. So they focused in that area. Then you had another consultant that focused on the Village West. So you take 75 North, and then you go towards where you have now 75 North, where the projects were, all of that area, Walgreens. Then they would look at, okay, so what's the best development there, or what do people want to see there? And during that time, OHA, if you remember, had Pleasant View Housing. That was still there, OHA, on 30th and Parker. Well, back in about 2008, I believe it was, 2007, 2008, that 30th and Parker was one of the deadliest corners, if you will, that year. I mean, it was like 30 shootings in 30 days. I mean, it was really not a good look for North Omaha. And so bringing that community together is like, okay, so what do we need to do so that we have a safe summer? So, fast forward, you have now the development that you see at Highlander. But again, that was because bringing all of the people together with that North Omaha Revitalization Plan, we had a visioning session. So we brought community in, we brought stakeholders in, we brought businesses in. What do you want to see on that Pleasant View property? What do you want to see in terms of housing? And the number one thing that people said is, we don't want anything that's going to look like the projects. So what you see now at 75 North and Highlander, at 30th and Parker, is what the community said. They wanted different types of housing, but they also wanted different types of market rate, and then also, I won't say low income, but affordable housing. So again, you have that mixed income that's right there on that corner. And then you also had, even on 24th Street, a lot of museums. They wanted to see different arts and cultural types of things. So really, when you look at the revitalization plan, that was the beginning of really starting to have a master plan, so that when businesses come in, then they would be able to kind of see where the lay of the land is and where they could best place their business or their housing, and be able to support it with people coming back to North Omaha. Because remember, back in the day, North Omaha was a melting pot. You really couldn't go past 72nd Street because it was nothing but farm fields. So again, it was more of, you had the Jews, you had the Blacks, you had all these different cultures that were in North Omaha, but eventually moved out. So how do we get people to move back in? And that's the thing that I think you're seeing right now, is people that are developing, whether it's different projects, whether it's housing, whether it's mixed income, living situation, all of that is happening now. And it's a beautiful thing, because we want even our young people to even come in and come back. And so this stroll down memory lane is just a tour, so that people can really just kind of reminisce about the good old days. Because if you're from North Omaha, there's a lot of buildings that you knew what it used to be, and it could be something different. Idle Vital, that building there, that used to be, I think it was a gas station at one time. So if you look at even some of the architectural types of buildings in North Omaha, there are things that were happening there. OEDC, right there at the Jewel building, it was a Dreamland Ballroom. So when you see Dreamland Park, where you have the statues, well, it was named from Dreamland Ballroom. That's where you had Count Basie. That's where you had Preston Love Sr., all of these international artists that were performing there. And that's where everybody used to meet up and go. So this tour just kind of gives people a chance to reminisce, but it also showcases and highlights the new development that's coming. Because remember, when people come to visit here during Native Omaha Days, it's almost as if we get a chance to pull the curtains and say, look at what we've done collectively. You see what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
like when you left 2 years ago, when you come back, there's something different. So that tour gives us an opportunity to not only just reminisce, but also look at the new development that's on the horizon. And so Brenda Council is a tour guide. And if you know Brenda Council, she has a wealth of information.
Yeah.
She makes that tour, I mean, it's so much fun. So it starts at 4:00 today, and then and it's on the trolley. And so then it circulates, and it's about maybe a 30-40 minute tour. We go by Malcolm X. We're going to go by Bud Crawford's new gym. So it's really taking people along that route and then allowing them to be able to experience some things that they hadn't before. So that's between 4 and 8 p.m. Today. And the pickup is going to be at 24th and Burdett.
I appreciate you giving some context to this, because we've been talking about this stroll down memory lane, but not in the context that you just talked about it. In this whole season that we're on right now, we're concentrating on spaces and places, and so what you're telling us about is this is a tour that's really talking about how things have changed, and even the last 2 years, we talk about how the Deuce is activated in the last 2 years even differently than it had before then too. So I love this idea of being able to go down and check out what's new. What's new happening around here? That's great.
Mhm. Yeah. And so, and you use the word activated because again, working for the Empowerment Network, when we really started the work, there wasn't a whole lot of people that was coming down to North Omaha. I mean, you had, unless you was getting your hair cut, because we still had, thankfully, those barbershops that were, they were there when it was a good time. They were there when it was kind of a desert. And now that we're flipping it back to where there's a lot of people coming back. But that was one of the reasons why we started the Christmas in the Village with the Empowerment Network. We're celebrating 15 years of having Christmas in the Village. Wow. And Willie Barney said, when we worked together, he said, you know what, it would be great to have our own kind of a, Christmas festivity and holiday and so on, so that our kids can have memories in North Omaha. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. We can do that next year. He says, no, I think I want to do it this year. And that was with about 3 months planning. So at that point, we had, one carriage to take people on a carriage ride. We had the balloons. We had a Black Santa Claus. We had, things that, kids can come down and just experience Christmas in their own community. Now, nothing against anybody else out, doing anything else during the holiday, but we wanted people to kind of have memories in North Omaha. And so you fast forward 15 years later, and we had over 7,000 that came down during Christmas in the Village. And now remember, this is in the dead of winter. It's always the first Saturday in December. So again, when you're talking about the activation of spaces, remember when we came together and you talked about two organizations, and I'm not sure if this is the time to do that, but we really wanted to, in 2015, some of the members of the Native Omaha Club, and I do want to say this, in terms of Vera and Betty, they started the club. They started Native Omaha's Club in 1976. And so the Native Omaha Club with Kimberly Sherrod Barnes as president, and some of the other members are continuing on that legacy of what Vera and Betty had started. And so again, they do have those signature events like the Gospel Fest, like the Homecoming Dance and the Mixer. And so, but when in 2015, there were some of the members that approached certain individuals and community folks to say, hey, we want to invite you to come in and to really look at how can we work together? How can we really take this to the next level so that we do have more activities and more things that people can, when they do come, it's not just, maybe 5 things, but how can we do it so that it is a week-long celebration? And so in 2015, we came together, we worked together, we had strategic sessions on Saturday mornings. I mean, we literally came and put this visioning session together to say, where do we want to take this? And we all said internationally. I mean, at that time, Essence Festival was, the bomb. I mean, Essence Festival was like the top notch, Black festival, where you can go. And so we said we want to take it internationally because we know people are coming to North Omaha during Native Omaha Days from all different places. And so that vision was really to take Betty and Vera's vision, not to change it, but to elevate it. And so because of that, we were able to then start really building. And if you know anything about event planning on a major scale, you've got to have the infrastructure to do it.
Yeah.
And before then, we didn't have really the security. You didn't have the cleaning, so that when people come in, it's like, coming into your front door. And there were a lot of other signage, marketing, promotion, dumpsters, a lot of things behind the scenes that we said, you know what, this is what we need in order to really make it to where it needs to go. And even when I got involved with the food portion of it, and I started working with the Douglas County Health Department. And they said, I'm so glad you're in place, and I'm glad that it's being organized, because right now we just had people that were down there. They were cooking their food. They were serving their food to the public. They were selling their food. Well, what happens is that you have people that are down there, and again, nothing against people who can cook some soul food or whatever you cook. But again, it's got to be safe. And that was the thing that wasn't in place, like you have your Summer Arts Festival and some of your other places where they do have the health department come in to inspect, to make sure that the food that you are serving is safe for the community. And that's all that they were doing. So when I got involved, it was a matter of, okay, well, let's just make sure that we create a Festival Square Court, which is a vision we had years ago, back in the revitalization plan. We said we want to create something where people are coming down and they can sit, they can talk, they can eat, they can do a lot of different things. So the Festival Square Court is something that we all said that would be a great idea. In addition to that, having some vendors come down and to be able to, vend, sell your products and services and so on and so forth. So the monies that we charge, and I want to please be clear with this. The monies that we charge to have the food trucks or the food vendors or the merchant vendors is to go back into the festival, is to go back to cover security, is to go back to cover the cleanup, is to go back to doing a lot of things that cost money to be able to do. So it's not like we're making money. We're just trying to cover the cost that it takes on a grand scale to be able to pull this off. So when we have a week-long event and you don't hear a lot of negative things, there's a lot of security personnel and law enforcement that's behind the scenes that have been working months before this to coordinate. So if it's the police department, if it's our security team, which is this year it's Riley Protection Group, if it's Leo and his group, if it's Chrome and his group and others, they're all in a room and they're talking and they're saying, okay, so what's our strategy for this week? Where do we need to be at? And with the planning committee, which is what I facilitate, that Native Omaha Day organizing committee, we meet every week. Before we meet every other week, but as we get closer, we meet every week. And that's really to say, okay, here's some of the events that we know are happening. And it's to really make sure that if there's a large crowd that is going to be somewhere, great, have your event, but we just want to make sure we know about it, because again, people go down with great intentions, but sometimes there's others that go down and they cause havoc. And if there's things that are comfortable for the others that are down there trying to have a good time, we want to know about it and make sure that we have this, the personnel that's there to be able to diffuse anything that may happen. Because the last thing we want is something negative on TV to take away from what Vera and Betty had put together, talk about the great time we had at Native Omaha Days, and there's this one incident that overshadows everything. So that's why we come together to do that, to make sure that we know what's happening and to make sure that it's coordinated through law enforcement and security.
So let me jump in there real quick, because I think our audience knows a lot about, and we're kind of, I'm looking at the time too. I definitely want to get this in. I think a lot of our audience understand that the festival committee was kind of brought in to handle some of these things. Law enforcement, I think, once the barricade kind of started going up too, that had to do with a lot more police presence in the barricade, and I think that was a result of what you guys brought to the table as well. What we're seeing out here, for instance, the other day, Miss Kimberly got on and talked about the differences between the two entities as well, and some of the things that she was bringing out was that that committee that you guys put together was only supposed to be temporary, and then it was going to get back to what Native Omaha Days Club was doing after they got out of the spot that they were in, where you guys helped. and that any continued collaboration really had to do with like them being able to dictate what's going on as the club, as representing the founders, and then the committee being in a support role to do some of the things that you were talking about with the cleanup, with organizing some of the vendors, with the security and police presence, and so on and so forth. So why is there some discrepancy there, or controversy? Why are they feeling like that agreement that you guys were only supposed to be in there temporarily helping is out the door now? Like what is the issue?
I'm not exactly sure what the issue is, to be honest with you, because I know when we came together, it was really to say, okay, this is how we're going to move forward, because you really don't put a strategic plan together and then not execute it together.
Mm,
So it wasn't my understanding, and I don't think it was anyone, maybe other than the club members. So again, if I know what the expectation is, I'm going to be clear about how I move forward and how I execute and how maybe what's that transition to hand off. None of that was discussed during those strategic sessions at that time. It was really to move forward and to continue to move forward, because we knew by working together we can all put our minds together. We can all think about, okay, how do we want this to look? What do we want to change? But also respecting the identity of the two. We
mm,
don't ever want to lose Native Omaha's club. That was never the intention.
mhm,
If anyone thinks that that was my intention, my apologies. But I didn't start Native Omaha Club. I
Mhm.
didn't start Native Omaha Days. You think I'm going to go out here and try to take that from Vera and Betty? Why
mm,
would we not honor them with the street naming? Why would we not want people when they go past there to go past legacy? My thing is to never have that as a perception. So if that is anyone's perception, that it was just temporary and that we were supposed to transition, no, the reality is that everyone keeps their identity, but at the same time, the club would still host the Gospel Fest, because we used to, when we started out, the Native Omaha Days organizing committee started doing the Gospel Fest together with the club. So
mm,
we actually, Willie Barney was working with Bonita to get the performers, Chad, Millicent, all those individuals, and to pay them what we would do with anybody else. So again, but the club wanted to go ahead and host that, which we said that that's fine. Go ahead and host it. Just make sure that what we were doing, you continue to do that, which is pay your performers, and if you get the performers that are normally being paid. Now, some of the choirs that are out there, maybe it's an honorarium, something of that nature. But no, it was never to, one, be temporary, and then number two, to take away any identity of the club at all. The organizing committee, it's almost like the infrastructure. We actually take care of the things behind the scenes to make sure it runs great. But we also incorporated Family Fun Day, because we knew after the parade, a lot of people just dispersed. So we said, you know what, let's give them a place to go. So that's how that Family Fun Day started.
mm,
Dreamland Concert Park, that Dreamland Park. So now we've got activation, we've got live music, we've got people that are, feeling like they can come down and just kind of chill. Sunday with the jam session with Jamie and Mario Corbino and several others, it's like Jazz on the Green, but a little bit condensed. But you in your own space. Bring your chairs, bring it. And it was a great time. So, again, in terms of the temporary, we never went in with the condition that it would be temporary. We went in saying, you know what, let's work together, let's lock hands, and let's really work together, unified and coordinated. And that's why you have those planning sessions too, because again, anybody that wants to be a part of that planning committee, you certainly are welcome.
mhm. Okay. We're coming up on the last 2 minutes of the show, actually. But now that we're starting to talk about it, I definitely want to pass it to Buddy. I didn't know. I think you had some questions too. If you can hang up just a few more minutes past 9, then maybe we can get a few things answered, because I think that I'm happy that you're here, kind of clearing up things from the side that you're talking about it. This is the ongoing thing that's happening, not something that was supposed to be temporary. I find there's some clashes a little bit, because I feel like the people in the Native Omahans Club didn't want a curfew, didn't want so much police presence, and so on and so forth, and how much say did they have there, and so on. But before I get into that, I definitely want to pass it to Buddy, because I have a tendency to take over the guest and just talk the whole time, and I want to make sure he gets his question in as well. He has a broader perspective than me a lot of times. Go ahead, Buddy. I want to give it to you.
Yeah. and really not even trying to get down to too deep into this rabbit hole, because I think there's a lot of conversation and a lot of questions to be had with the agreement, and just even Tony Johnson asking in the chat, was this a written agreement, things like that. And I don't want to get too far into that, but I do want to ask, as far as this revitalization plan, that is a valuable question, or valid question in the chat. Tony Johnson asking, when will the revitalization plan be updated, and how successful was the reaching the goals set in the original plan? And I have a follow-up question to that, but we can start there.
So if you look on the city's website, you can actually look at the entire plan itself. So if you go on, or if you Google North Omaha revitalization plan, it'll pull up where you can go on the city's website, and you can see the entire plan that is there. Now, since then, because it was passed unanimously in 2011 by the planning board and by the city council, but if you fast forward, there's been a few other plans that have come into play that are more specific. So for instance, they're focusing on like 24th Street. You've got the BID now, who really, with Councilwoman Lavanya Goodwin, who really has been working with a lot of those businesses along between Ames and Cumming Street. So there's been a couple of plans. I know for sure, one for sure, but I think two, and I can't right now think of the name of it, but it may be on the city's website as well. So there's been some plans that people have been working on, and they've been working on with the community to really have it in place, where now the city planning department has actually put it on their website as additional plans that focus on North Omaha. So if you're looking for like an update, there's a couple of plans that you can find on the city planning website that will give you some of those more specifics in terms of like streetscape, whether it's transportation, parking, because again, Mayor Ewing has said he really wants to do some things in North and South Omaha. Well, how does that impact the transportation on 24th Street? Because again, it's not like it's wide. So you've got to, kind of look at that as well. So yeah, a couple of plans have been out there now since that revitalization plan.
Okay. Just in future conversations, it's kind of clear that we're going to definitely have to talk more about what that plan looks like, how that plan is being implemented, and just kind of keep tabs on that situation. But getting back to the Omaha Day of it all, I did have one kind of final thought and question. This is also something that was brought up in the chat earlier. Somebody suggested having like signage, street signage, and a kind of a theme, a concise theme for Omaha businesses. And that kind of also made me think about, as far as what you're talking about, the two organizations and the Native Omahans Club having their signature organizations. Is there any talk about expanding what those signature organizations might look like? Of course, you have the homecoming dance and the mixer and things, but it seems like events like the comedy show, events like the golf invitation are also growing. What are the prospects of those becoming like official Omaha Day events?
The reason why we say, from my understanding, signature events is because when Betty and Vera started, that's what was going on. So for instance, if back in 1977 or 2 years after that, what you could find is the Gospel Fest, you would have the mixer, and you would have the homecoming dance. And I believe at that time there may have been the picnic, and I want to say a boat ride, because I remember. And let me just throw this out there. I met my husband. Well, I didn't meet him, but our first date was a homecoming dance, Native Omaha Days.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So, that has great memories for me. So, he was like, well, can I hold your hand? And I said, well, let's just see how it goes.
I love it.
So I have fond memories of homecoming dance. My dad came. I mean, we all have a picture of it. So again, but in terms of signature events, the signature events were events that were held when that Vera and Betty had started. So in terms of what's added on now, and I mean, there is over probably 50 plus events going on during Native Omaha. But again, remember, with the two organizations working together, This is what you're getting. This is the impact that you get when you bring your resources together, when you bring your collective minds together, when you support each other, and when you still identify with each organization and you respect those organizations. So again, this is what you're getting. Everybody wants to be a part of Native Omaha Days now, but the signature events are signature events. You can have a golf tournament that Michael Green has. You can have all of these comedy shows and whatnot. It's just during Native Omaha Days. And don't forget the economic impact. Again, I always talk about it with these businesses. We do this because we want to support the businesses. We want to, and not just support them for 1 week. Come on, we got to support them throughout the year. If you got businesses on 24th Street or 30th Street, don't just support them 1 week. Go back and continue to support them. If we got North Omaha Music and Arts, the Union, Great Plains Black History Museum, don't just go there during Native Omaha Week. Go there consistently. Tell your friends about them. Get more people to come down there. So again, those signature events are that's what the club hosts. And that's what everybody is responsible in terms of raising dollars. So the things that we do, we have to raise dollars for that. The Gospel Fest, the Mixer, the Homecoming Dance, that's what the club is hosting. And we put that out there. That's what the club is hosting. And those are the things that they're raising funds for. And their funds could even go beyond that to where it's going to be a feeder to maybe something else that they want to do in terms of education and justice and things like that Vera and Betty was so passionate about. So they're keeping that legacy alive by raising the funds and the dollars to be able to do that and to support it.
Man, and that kind of leads me to the last question that I have on this point, and this is something that was brought up by Sister Kimberly and a few other people in the chat, as far as the finances and the fact that you mentioned the two organizations work together, but are still separate entities, separate organizations. Does that play a role in why finances aren't being shared between the two organizations, or what is the status of that situation?
I think it goes back to the focus. So when we were actually looking at, okay, so who's going to keep the events, who's going to host certain events. And again, don't forget, when I talk about the infrastructure, that's a whole nother animal there that it's going to cost money to be able to do that. If you take a look at, and I might veer off for a second, but I'm come back around. If you take a look at, again, the Summer Arts Festival, which is no longer there, but the Cinco de Mayo, you take a look at Maha Festival, you take a look at all of these festivals, there's a lot of costs that go into it. So with us, from the organizing committee, we said, you know what, we need these things. We can't go without security. We can't go without, somebody coming in the morning before it all starts to clean up from the night before. We have to have trash picked up throughout the day. We don't want trash to just kind of like pile up. And then at nighttime, it's overflowing on the ground. We want to maintain that. So again, the funds that we raise are to go towards those expenses that we incur. Any events that we host from an organizing committee, we raise the dollars to do that. The club, they will raise their dollars to host the things that they are hosting as well, and anything else outside of that they want to host. So again, that's where you get the separation of the financing. It's not to say that we don't want to give them money. It's just to say that our focus right here has to be from this infrastructure setting, and then how do we raise the dollars to be able to manage that? And as this festival grows, so does your cost. Because again, we've got to look at, and right now, if you haven't taken a look at the environment is saying we don't really want to support, people of color. We don't want to support, if you just say African-American and this and that. So, I mean, it gets a little bit hard, but at the same time, we know what we need. So again, when you talk about the financing and the sharing, it's because we are in those terms mutually exclusive, because we want to raise the dollars that we are each supporting and hosting. And so it's not that we're trying to be stingy. It's just that we're trying to raise the money to be able to do and sustain and to grow the vision of what Vera and Betty had started out with. So, it's not about, how come we're not giving monies? We're trying to raise the dollars to do what we're wanting to do. And if it calls for more of this or more of that, we've got to find different ways to be able to do that. And then I do want to say real quick in terms of the shutdown for the food, we said we know that we're in a neighborhood where there's people, there's families, there's residents, people have to get up in the morning. And so we said that from the food truck and the food vendors, we wanted to shut down at 11 p.m. because we knew that it's going to take about an hour for the food trucks and whatnot to clean. So you got midnight. So we didn't want to be any cause of keeping people down there, although we know people are going to stay down there. But at the same time, we wanted to shut down so that we can at least be respectful of the residents that are trying to go to sleep and trying to, be with their families or whatnot. But we just know that it gets really congested around that 24th and Lake between Burdett and Ohio Street. And we just said that we wanted to shut down, or at least, I don't even like the word shut down, but we want to close at 11 p.m. But now if you've got people in line, of course they're going to be served, but we just wanted to be respectful of the residents there.
Makes sense. We'll go ahead and leave it there. I appreciate you coming on, giving some clarity. I think we really appreciate the work that you guys are doing, and because of that infrastructure as well. We're also people that have thrown events, put on events. I'm a coordinator. I spent many years as a concert promoter and stuff like that on the island. So I know about that, and making sure that the security's there and the trash is there, and there's somebody out there monitoring the cars in the parking lot and all the things that people don't see. As far as that is concerned. So I hope that I heard there was going to be some conversation after the event, because right now we're all just really concentrating on celebrating the event and taking in all of the things that are going on. Both groups that people from both groups that we talked to have said that part. Like, yeah, we might have a discussion later, but right now we're definitely going to make sure that we all celebrate. And it seems to be going off as far as the celebration is concerned without a hitch. Safety wise, and the things that you guys are shooting for, and making sure things flow and are clean and safe, and also the events that people showing up to the street naming and the gospel fest and everything that's been going on. That it seems that there's lots of crowds, lots of people coming up to all of the events and all the secondary events, all the surrounding events too, that are happening, and packing the house over there where the comedy stuff was and everything else. So it seems like it's a successful celebration, even with all these things happening, and some of the things that need to happen need to get together, have a little bit more communication, and figure out each other's lane and role for the next time, and so on. But I do want to say that I think we really appreciate the work you guys are doing on making the infrastructure right, and the work that the club is doing on making sure that these legacy events keep going, and even the work the peripheral people that are doing to do all these extra shows and golf tournaments and all these other things that are happening as well. So so we really just kind of like want to leave it there in this feeling of appreciation and celebration, especially while it's still happening. Like it's not over till Sunday. So we still got some more to do and some more to go for. Of course, we talked about the stroll down memory lane that's happening today at 4:00. Definitely check it out. I'm so glad. If you missed any parts of this interview, go back and check it out on YouTube, because Miss Vicki just broke down about why we need to stroll down memory lane, why we need to check these things out in a really great way as well. So we appreciate that. Of course, Dreamland Park concerts are coming up, man. These are all the people, man. I play with Ed Archibald. That's my cousin Nate Bray. We had our style open our fundraiser. So, and of course, I used to work at the lab with Big Wade with the Black Swan Theory. So this is all the fam right here that's going to be a Dreamland Park concert series. It just makes me feel like there's going to be music just flowing from the deuce at all times here, and really, really appreciate it. Then, of course, the ribbon cutting celebration, North Omaha Visitor Center, we've been talking about all show, that we think is going to be a very important center to be to really show off what's going on up and down 24th Street in the Black community is in particular. Shout out to Preston Love Jr. for this, the OG. Really, really appreciate all of those things that are happening. And I really appreciate that you guys put this out too, this post that showed a lot of the flyers, a lot of the things that are happening, and saying that you guys are excited to collaborate with North Omaha Days Organizing Committee, Native Omaha Days Club, OEDC, and dozens of community partners for Native Omaha Days. This is what it's all about. In the end, we're all trying to get together and celebrate together. So appreciate all your help, all your work. Appreciate you coming on. Appreciate you staying late to explain some of these things for us. And go ahead and go catch them criminals over there, Miss Private Eye. Go ahead.
I love it.
We appreciate you very much.
Thank you.
So we'll have you back on soon too. We'll have you back on to talk about some things, some other things going on for sure.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
All right.
All
Tell
right.
everybody I said hi, and you guys take it easy. Bye-bye.
All right.
All right. There it
Yes, sir.
is. Lots of more. Of course, we are going to continue to have some questions and continue to have some
Yeah,
conversations.
yeah.
And that's a good start to really hear from them on that level as well. And a bunch of those things, we kind of really broke down some things. So I appreciate that very much. We're going to go ahead and get out of here because we're running late. And but we definitely wanted to get some of this conversation started here with Miss
Oh
Vicki
yeah.
Ferris. I think there's been successful. So I appreciate that very much. Buddy, you got some words for the people? How you feeling?
Yeah, yeah, that was a good conversation. Of course, as you said, this is really the start of the conversation. More questions to be had. Definitely want to get into, Native Omaha situations in other cities, like we talked about on the off years, what's going on, and also what was happening between, during throughout the year. It seems like there's still some activity going on that tip, and then of course, just on the larger conversation of development and the role that the Empowerment Network plays in North Omaha, some of the movement. It seems like a lot of things that are happening is actually going to plan. So I definitely want to, dive deeper into that plan, what it looks like, and have more of an understanding of the plan as we continue. So more conversation to be had on that tip. But yeah, here we are about 15 minutes into the third hour, RG. There you go. There you go. That's about all you're getting. So yeah, enjoy it. We appreciate you. We love you. We thank you again. Pushing the content creators camp back 2 hours to accommodate for the tour or the parade. So make sure you check that out. And also, of course, this Sunday is going down. Chat Chimers Kickback in conjunction with the Untamed Summer 20 weeks of summer again at the Assembly of the Saints. So shout out to everybody who's down with that. Come through, live alive with one another. Of course, my pops will be on the grill get
Hey,
down. So get some good food for the soul, some good laughs, some good music, just some all around good times, man. So again, it's a celebration. The spirit is high, man. I'm feeling good, feeling great. Hopefully you're feeling the same. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you sometime this weekend. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
hell yeah.
What's good, man? What's
Got
good?
me thinking about Dave Chappelle with the celebration. Come on through.
Come on.
Appreciate you, man. Kobe Black Dynamite in the chat says I was driving down 24th the other day and thought the old OIC site and thought this would be a great place for an amphitheater park, kind of like they did on Southside. Good
Not bad.
ideas. Good
Not bad.
ideas.
There has
Appreciate you,
been
man, with that.
has been talk of a venue possibly coming on the deck or
I
some
didn't
kind
hear
of
that.
venue. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been whispers. It's been whispers.
Whispers. They're rocking steady. Pop says, excellent. I love her spirit and what both organizations are doing to make Native Omaha Days continue to grow and thrive. Appreciate you, Pops. RG says, so let it be known, First Guy in the Morning is going to be 2.25 hours on Friday. Like that, I said it too. We said, First Guy in the Morning, hour 3, Omaha Days edition.
Man.
I love the consistency of you fellas.
Hey.
Yeah, man. You always let us know what's going on over there.
Yeah.
Jay Hannes in the chat saying, in the chat today too. Christy Norris saying, "See y'all Sunday." Hey, see you Sunday. Can't wait. Can't wait. That's what's up. Pop says, "Great show, great week. Have a good weekend, and see you all on Monday."
Yes,
Really
sir.
appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, yeah. And Michelle Moreno, I want to get down too. She said, put me down for one of them big old sheet cakes from Walmart. What are you talking about? What's the sheet cake?
RG buying the cake. He said, I ain't gonna make nothing, but I'll bring some.
Hey, bro, bring something. Man. That's what's up. Just bring yourself. That's really what,
There you
what this is all about. So appreciate y'all. And yes, we will see you Sunday. Wait a minute. I don't know about the sheet cake. I don't know. I don't sound too tasty. I don't
go.
know.
The dead the dead juice on it with the red number 5.
Yeah, the dead parasite juice cake. All right. Whatever. It's going down. We'll do the best we can. That's all we can say on that.
There you go. There you
So
go.
we will see you on Monday. We will be. I think we have a special guest coming on Monday as well. So stay tuned for that. But before Monday, we're gonna live alive with each other and see each other on Sunday over at Assembly of the Saints. Buddy already talked about this, but we are going to continue to say, "Come on through. Let us know what you got going on." The celebration. We're gonna get on out of here. We'll see you at the rest of Omaha Days. If you come on down, we'll be outside, I'm sure, in the next 3 days. And if not, then we'll see you at the kickback. That's what it is. With that, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys take it easy, take care of each other. Remember the weather's still kind of up and down, hot and cold, hot and rainy, all kinds of stuff going on. But don't let it stop you from getting out and doing the thing. We'll see you then. Peace. I'm not a crook.
By the way, Van Williams. The red